welcome back to the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour live at VsFighting 2018, where we are at another saga event for the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour, seeing who will be the player to take home the 2-star Dragon Ball this weekend. As always, I am Mustard, joined on commentary by Ketchup, and we have some pretty incredible games to go with. We have a couple of pool matches ready to finish off, and then we'll be going straight into top 32, where things are going to get really interesting.
I think so far the results have been as we expected. You know, we're starting to see SonicFox do well, we're seeing Aixy do well, Dekillsage is doing very well in his pools as well, and the players you expect to sort of play superbly have done that so far. I think as we kind of go into the top 32, that's where the upsets are likely to take place. That said, we have, as you said, a few more pool games to go through, and then we're going to be into the nitty-gritty, the later stage of the tournament, where things are going to get juicy, and the scope for upsets just becomes much bigger.
Well, I actually think we've been talking about this a few times over today, and I feel like there haven't really been any upsets as such. It's very much who you would expect to win each kind of match has basically moved on. But in top 32 is where that kind of goes out the window a little bit. Whereas for now, we are finishing things off with pools, and we're going to be having TDB JDoubleC against Ian McTetly, and we are finishing off pool play. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a whole pool or later stages of this final pool, but we are getting through this, and then we're going into top 32.
I mean, it's all just been going on behind the scenes, really. You know, we can only really stream a fraction of these games because there's so much going on at any given moment. And even around this, you know, we can see people getting both casuals in when things are ramping up. And obviously the pool play is taking place as well. So Frieza, Bardock, and Goku Black. And then we have the Saiyan team. We have Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta as well. I think I favor Ian's team a little bit more in terms of just general fundamentals, but we'll see. We'll see how it works.
We have seen a colossal amount of Bardock today. I must say, Bardock has been supremely popular, and for good reason, man. He's such an incredible character. He's so good in many ways, but not in this kind of team. Traditionally,
now we see that beam assist come out immediately, just kind of extend those combo strings as we expect. Here comes the Goku assist as well, but no results just yet. But that 2H from Frieza is so good.
That completely confirmed that Vegeta assist. It's that raw 2H. Some damage on there. Going for the level up as well.
Getting an early level up is best case scenario as an adult Gohan player because it just unlocks so much of what he can do and it makes him so dangerous. Combine it with the beam assist, the Vegeta assist, and adult Gohan's going to be laughing. We want to tag out. Do we want Frieza? Yeah, we want to take Frieza out of the equation early.
Okay, tagging the low also. That's going to be a full combo. Oh no! Falls out of the end. I feel like Ian's he's not getting a lot of optimal damage, but he's getting a lot of quick opportunities to do it.
And that's going to be dead Frieza immediately. And actually, a couple of times he's dropped combos, he's recovered with a 2H. And it's worked basically every time. And an unscaled 2H does massive damage if you're near the corner and you've got bar to work with too.
He's really struggling. He does still have the beam assist thanks to Goku Black, who still has quite a lot of utility in the neutral, but the question is he's going to do so. It looks like Ian's kind of in his face the whole time.
But that's going to be that's the result, right? Adult Gohan with 2 good assists is one of the scariest characters up close to deal with. Goes in with the tick grab a little bit too far away. That's not going to work at all. And
well, that's why you very rarely see the tick grab used kind of just normally like that, unless both players are kind of like clearly sitting on the floor waiting for it to make a move or ticking into it. Wasn't quite the right thing to do there. DoubleC taking some more damage now, Bardock getting lower and lower, but no! Finds an opportunity, but doesn't get the follow-up.
That's unfortunate, because we would like to have seen the splat too. The splat would have put Bardock in a terrible position. We can have just almost like guess via life in that situation, but that said, we see a pickup come out from Ian anyway. That's going to be some super spend. Doesn't even need anything extra than 1, and Ian is now 100% in the driver's seat for pools.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for JDoubleC, to be completely honest. I feel like he has obviously 3 carries to get rid of. He's got plenty of buys, he's got sparking, but I think the problem is just he has never, at any point in this match, been in a position that he's able to do some serious damage. But even things like that, right? That was the truth. Spend a bar to extend it, like just enough DoubleC is spending the bar in the right way to really maximize his opportunities.
Well, hasn't the opportunity to pop this sparking just yet either. This is unfortunate. We're going to get a hard knockdown off this level 3 and one more mix-up. I think it's very much going to kind of force the sparking to be used right now. And he tried. Did he go for the meaty DP just in case?
Not sure, but it didn't quite matter. DoubleC is very low on life, and there we go, just a raw DP. And of course, Ian's team having access to 2 invincible reversals. I mean, you have to be careful pressing buttons anyway.
That's always the one thing you get scared of when you see adult Gohan and Vegeta on the same team. It's like, at any moment, these guys have an invincible reversal. And they've got assists. It's the fact that not only do they have the DPs, but using each other's assists after the DP on block is also really scary.
Indeed. But the question is, what's going to be happening here? Are we going to see a character change? Are we going to see a rematch?
It's hard to gauge whether that was a character thing or not. You know, in that 2 out of 3 situation, it can be a little bit hard. I think we're just taking a little bit of time right now in this case. Kind of collect some thoughts a little bit, but that said, Ian's definitely on top form. The Frieza didn't really have a chance to play the game, and I think this team has actually built quite nicely around beating Frieza. You know, none of the people on Ian's team will struggle getting him in that kind of zoning game, and when Frieza disappears, the entire team, I think, is cut short.
It does seem that way, but of course Frieza is not. I suppose he's not the scariest character in the game by any means, but at the same time he does bring quite a specific kind of annoying aspect to
Oh wow.
Oh wow, that was a big happy birthday. A lot of damage on to Goku Black. I think he's even more damage. Oh, tries to get a punish, but slides clean under Frieza. Definitely don't think that's what Ian intended.
Yeah, the 2M's a great button, but in that instance you kind of have to wait for it, otherwise it just completely misses. And you've lost it, but the grab reset, okay. No bar to really capitalize on this though, and the combo drops regardless. That is unfortunate.
Oh, but into a sparking from Ian. Interesting. Oh, into the DP, but no attempt to punish from DoubleC. I think he knows he's got the banish. I think the attempt is to make it empty, get it safer.
Sparking makes it much better, goes in for the 2H and it misses. Gets the auto combo, that's going to pick him up.
Also combo off with the bar local assist as well. That was a nice confirm. Gets a Goku Black, he's now full on life, but goes into a super block.
You kind of might have thought maybe that would have been for like a pressure situation, similar like a Hellzone grenade or something.
But
I mean,
doesn't work that way.
You can't tag because it just disappears. Unfortunate times indeed, and he's on the verge of losing his Goku Black on that too. 7 bars of VF for Ian. Sparking both kept this Gohan alive and gave him plenty of resources. He's going to spend some of it with this level 3.
So it's definitely he's going to kill, but it's a little close. Obviously leveling up Gohan in the process. Wake up, Sparking.
Doesn't want to risk that 2H. And there's the DP interruption. The knowledge. Ready and waiting for it. Pressure. I actually like that choice, and then we're going to get a punish from that too. Instead of trying to risk it on the medium, let's just go 2H and keep it guaranteed.
Even if it's not properly punished, as long as it's damage, that's the important thing, especially if you missed it before. Oh, again! On another 2H!
How many times is that going to work?
As many times as is required, apparently. Because Ian is now really moving through into this. JDoubleC just isn't able to return. I think he's always got a lot of bar. The problem is, it's just he can't get a decent opening.
There's the cross-up. So many layers of mix-ups and Dragon Ball fighters. You've really got to block here, there, and everywhere.
And there's your head. Yeah, DoubleC, I kind of feel like he's just being a bit overwhelmed at this point. And now it's left to Frieza with no sparking. This is going to be tough.
And that death ball from far away. Oh. We're going to see another pickup there from Goku. Goku actually being able to catch those sort of wayward Kamehamehas a little bit easier just because of that S, right? Going a little bit higher up.
This gives us some nice damage for sure. That's going to be a nice easy opening. He has 3 characters there. Oh, but no, unless he drops the combo. I was about to say a nice guarantee.
Oh no, the pickup!
Instant reset.
That was intentional, mate. That was intentional. 100%. But
well, still a good start for sure.
That means Ian's going to be looking good in the pool play. I think early on, though, when like we said, right, we have a few more pool matches to get through. Not particularly sure what stage of pools this is. But that said, I think we're late enough in the day where players at least are going to be not rusty. If you have a late pool, you're going to make sure that the matches you play aren't the first matches because you've now had plenty of time to play casuals, right? That's the big thing.
Yeah, and that's something we've been seeing a lot through the venue today, though, is players obviously sitting around here all day, making sure they get their casual games in. But I do believe, moving on, we have Galileo making to the stage. I do wonder who his opponent is.
Yeah, I've just been informed to say for the audience at home, apologies for the lag a little bit earlier on. I do believe it's actually been fixed now, so we should be good to go.
Okay, awesome. Hopefully, we can any issues like that we do get solved promptly, and hopefully it's a bit more of a smooth experience. So we do apologise for that. But moving on, I do believe we go into Galileo versus who is his opponent? I'm trying to see who it is from here.
I can't see through the pillar, so we're just gonna have to wait.
Of course, Galileo's been around for a while. He's been playing Dragon Ball for a long time. I suppose quite very seriously since the game came out. I believe we saw him at Combo Breaker. I think he was there as well. But also, he's just a very respected player right now. And happy to have him in VsFighting. Obviously, this is the middle of Birmingham, in the middle of the UK. This is VsFighting 2018, which is by far the biggest event in the UK right now for fighting games. It's really this or Hype Spotting, and of course, you know, this year it's definitely been VsFighting. But we do have these international competitors making the trip. Obviously, we're going to have Galileo versus MiracleMax now. NBA MiracleMax, of course, Manchester represented.
Manchester has been represented in force for quite a few games here at VsFighting, and I think it's great to see because there's a very sort of passionate community in that part of the UK, and that is quite reminiscent, I think, of a lot of scenes. You know, Birmingham in itself has a massive community, so does Manchester. London obviously goes in droves as well. And when we have VsFighting coming up about, and we have all these international invaders, you know, they're coming here to try and take our title. it is great to see so many UK players come out in force. And if anything, it's just wonderful experience for our players to face competition that otherwise there's no way they'd be able to play against.
And that really is the beauty of it, though, the fact that it is international. You know, we have to remember, this is a Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour event for the year. You know, there's 7 Saga events in total, and they're all on different parts of the world. So chances are you can make it to at least one of them, most likely, over the span of the tour.
One of them should be close to you at the very least.
Yeah, and you know, for the UK players, it's a no-brainer. It's versus fighting. If you're a lot of Europeans, it's versus fighting. And that's why we have all these players here representing. MiracleMax going up against Galileo. Galileo, of course, Bardock, Goku Black, Android 16, and MiracleMax, Gohan, Cell, and Goku Black.
The button check comes out first, which is obviously incredibly important. So we'll wait for the button checks to get done. Assuming we'll just go for a restart afterwards. So we have to go back to player select and re-pick our teams. And then in a few minutes, we'll be good to go.
So I think this is going to be tough for MiracleMax. I haven't personally seen him play this game before, so I personally can't vouch for what level I expect him to be at. Whereas for Galileo, we know definitely to expect a lot of knowledge, and a lot of clean play. I think that's one thing he's very known for, is just being a very clean player. At least whenever I've seen him play, it seems to be very apparent. And will we see it here today? I guess we'll find out.
Very much so. Now, you've kind of been with the previous block. For the players I've seen so far, who do you think are the ones to watch the most?
I think a lot of the obvious names are still the names you will go with. You know, SonicFox, Goichi, Aixy, Dekillsage, Foxy Grampa's looking good.
But
RMZ,
that's the thing for us, talking about
ZeroQ.
Aixy. There's probably a lot of people out there that are saying, who's Aixy? Why would you bring him up? But only UK players really know what some of these players bring to the table. And that's what's exciting about this major tournament. Galileo scoring first blood right there.
Max is going to be already back to the corner. Bardock's corner carry is so insane.
Some of the best in the game, without a shadow of a doubt, because every attack he does moves him forward. You know, it's not like, he kind of hits a stunt at any point. It kind of goes hand in hand with just how aggressive you have to play this character. That's why you see him on point so often, because he has all the tools and given 2 good assists. He's a complete headache.
So you see the heavy scaling off of the overhead was still enough to keep his life lead healthy. Galileo is going to have 3 bars, extending, but no, drops the combo.
That said, we're still going to get set up a little bit of guaranteed damage from the Goku Black, but no doubt by the time we see Goku Black, that would have been recovered anyway. But that's the character gone. In the blink of an eye, I blinked and missed it.
Unfortunately for MiracleMax, that is the case. Now Cell comes flying in, already used his beam assist, but Galileo trying to be quite slippery right now, being very airborne as Galileo. Oh! Presses buttons as soon as MiracleMax hits the ground, and that's going to be a full corner combo.
Okay, that's going to be some more. And the entire time, Galileo's been building the resources. That's basically 7 bars gone already. And now we see a level 3 with plenty left in the tank as well.
Indeed. If he manages to get an opening on MiracleMax here, which he very well might be able to, that certainly hasn't really worked today. MiracleMax popping that sparking to keep Cell alive. Oh, the gap.
Yeah, knocked in the air a little bit. We weren't going to see anything guaranteed there. The patient. He's going to be content just kind of weighing out. Oh, the reflect doesn't work. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, indeed. This is, even though MiracleMax is obviously no danger of losing Cell here, the problem is he just used all of that sparking time. And it ended in a level 3. Galileo was forced him straight back in the exact same situation that he just had to sparking to get out of. So this is not what he wants.
2 times in a row, Galileo has actually hit the level 3 and then had 3 bars left afterwards. That's a testament to the meter gain of this team.
Meter management also. He's not just throwing it away for no reason. He's keeping hold of it for those big opportunities. MiracleMax now has
oh my god, that was sick.
Sparking.
That was so sick, knowing that he was going to vanish into the beam assist, ready for the pickup and another full combo. Are we going to see another hard knockdown here? Why not? Let's just go for 3. Let's go for 3 in less than 3 minutes.
I think this is like almost the 5th level 3 we've seen this game alone. But just look at the payout. This is why MiracleMax, he doesn't have sparking. He has to make the right read. Galileo wants to back off. I think maybe he expected a little bit level 3 from MiracleMax, perhaps.
Oh, the super dash is going to catch that back dash in the middle of its flight. So, oh no, the jump back's going to connect, and this has to be the game. This has to be.
I mean, he has got 4 bars. He's got 3 characters. I'd be very surprised if he survived this.
Level 1. Level 1. Give us one more.
Level 1.
Please. Oh,
doesn't even need it. Wow.
Doesn't even need it.
Did not think that was going to be 2 level 1s worth of damage, but here we are. Galileo moving on with a dominant game 1.
We didn't even need to see anything else. It was basically Bardock and friends the entire time. We're yet to see 16 put in the work. But if you don't, the thing about a team with 16 is, if you don't even need to see the 16, that's scary. Because when you finally have to face 16, it's an entirely different ball game in itself.
Indeed, but I think that really is the strength of a good Bardock play. And Galileo clearly understands a thing or two But this is what you can do. Bardock has that kind of oppressive neutral, that space control. He's very fast, he's very aggressive. And if you've got the right assist to get him in or give him more rushdown options, so you've got the beam to get in with Goku Black. You have the pressure options with Android 16 assist, and you have this level 3, and your opponent is almost certainly going to be cornered by the time you do it. This is dangerous situation.
And now we're not going for the retreat anymore. We're going to go in the way it was intended because the other setups aren't even necessary.
Indeed. And that's the sign of a good Bardock round. If you don't even need to mix it up, because whatever your mix-ups are at the moment is working. You don't need to make it key, you don't need to dollar up, it's just whatever you're doing works.
I can assume that was supposed to be an instant air charge from Galileo, but it didn't work out. Not that it even matters, because he's so far in the lead anyway. Overhead, full combo.
That's not the first time we've seen that work this time. I think MiracleMax really has to work on those fuzzies. Be able to react to that overhead whenever you can. I understand it's difficult on the receiving end of Bardock, considering he has so many options.
How many level 3s are we going to see in one series? This is insane.
It's been at least one character, one per character, I should say, and this is why.
Empty jump, no! Oh no, you're dead. You are so dead. Build that bar, give us another level 3, I want it. Oh no!
Yeah, that's actually not the first time we've seen that exact loop be dropped today, because it was done off of 0 bar. I think that was like Galileo's attempt at going for like a meter positive kind of setup there. I don't think, obviously it wasn't going to be touching death, so it wasn't that much damage, but it did build him 3 bars. It's a shame he dropped the combo, but he still managed to build all that meter up.
Now he can use those 3 bars to take out this final character and give us another level 3, because why not? Okay, that's almost an early confirm. I can't even tell if that was reaction or not, but he needs the situation.
Yeah, 100%. MiracleMax cannot afford to let this go. There's Bardock has those invincible options.
Oh no!
Delay into tag,
I mean,
MiracleMax.
he hesitated for a half second and now he's going to pay for it.
Sliding knockdown. What's he do? Nothing. Saves the bar.
Right, mix up time. Keep the pressure on. Nice reflex. Put him back into neutral, but I still favour Galileo in the neutral situation. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but I don't think he minds at all. And there's the cross-up.
Well, that's going to be an instant crossover. He's got 5 bars. Would it be enough to kill? To be level 1, 1-3?
I mean, he has to be dead. Level 1. Give us another
Bardock,
one.
so it could be
Level 1. Level 1. And then, yeah, before we even need to spend anything else, that's going to be a super dominant game right there.
I feel like in a lot of situations you'll say to yourself, like, is this going to kill? Is that enough bars? And then you see that there's Bardock coming in, doing his version of it. It's like, oh, okay, absolutely.
Never mind.
Definitely, absolutely going to be doing enough.
So, moving on, I mean, that was the expected result, I think you could definitely say. Especially when it just comes to all of these international players that are coming over and showing us how good they really are. And I think that's what we all have assumed would happen. And it's like kind of goes back to what I said. I think once we start seeing top 32 and we start kind of going into top 8 territory, that's where I think the best players on the UK spectrum are going to be able to maybe test the rest of the competition. But in pools and stuff like that, you know, if you think someone's going to make it out of pools here, they're probably going to.
I mean, these players are dominant for a reason, right? Like, the UK has a lot of people here, but at the end of the day, not every single player in this tournament is a top-level player. But that's tournaments for you. That's what pool play is about. It's about everyone having the same opportunity at the start, everyone having the same chances early on, but it's about who is able to play the best on the day and move through. And that's where the cream of the crop really start to, you know, rise. And that's where we're at. So I feel like you have, you know, for example, now we've got MossMossMoss versus Paddu coming up. But we do have some insane players already confirmed through from all different regions. You know, in terms of players off the top of my head that have made it through pools, you've got like SonicFox, Dekillsage, Dogura, Aixy. And I'm listing these names and people are just like, of course.
Has Sage made it through yet? Because I know Aixy had to fight him in pools.
Oh, I don't know if he's out of pools.
Oh no, you're talking about people in pools.
I think players that we've seen get to really fast stages of pools so far. I don't know if they've played like the final matches to get out of pools yet, or if they're holding those matches for like the kind of top 32 territory.
I spoke to Aixy earlier, and supposedly a match we will be seeing is going to be Aixy
I'm
versus
excited to see that.
Dekillsage.
I'm very excited.
There's a lot of players out there that probably would not have heard of Aixy, and maybe this is the tournament where you find out exactly who he is.
I mean, the thing that's the idea, right? He's a UK player, has won every tournament he's ever entered in the UK. He hasn't had the chance to really travel, and here's the biggest opportunity of the year. But here we are, moving on to our next game. We have MossMossMoss versus Paddu. I believe MossMossMoss is a London guy. So another UK represent. Paddu, I can't say I've personally heard of or seen play, but we will be changing that very soon.
Hey man, this is what it's all about in these tournaments. You know, the upcoming players or players that maybe people haven't heard of too much before. This is the moment you find out about.
But that happens at every VsFighting. You know, VsFighting really is the biggest tournament in the UK for a lot, you know, for a lot of different communities, a lot of different players. So if there's one event of the year that you'll make sure you can go to, VsFighting tends to be at the top of that list a lot of the time. So you do see new players that they discovered fighting games last year, and here they are this year, because, you know, it's the first versus fighting that has been since they got into them or they started watching them. And that's a huge part of this tournament. You know, it's reputation that upholds. It is a great starting point.
Let's not forget the players that started with Dragon Ball fighters as well. There are players out there, but this is their first competitive fighting game. And what an introduction to have.
Indeed. And now with the World Tour, it's an even better time than most to decide that you are ready to win tournaments for it. Of course, looks like Paddu coming from Sweden, so has made quite a trek, it seems.
Point Piccolo is something that you don't see regularly, but it can be something that works. You know, we saw from Apology Man, we've seen from Hook Gang God, that Piccolo up front can work if he has really good assists, because, you know, his weakness in some cases really is that him by himself is difficult to make comebacks with, you know, because his solo ability isn't 100% the greatest. Obviously, his mix-up potential is almost unrivaled, especially in the corner. But that said, if you give him 2 really good assists, and you're really good at confirming like that, then Piccolo can totally work up front. And now here comes Piccolo.
The first substantial hit. Into some pressure here.
Oh, that was so sick. That was so
really
sick.
like that.
And now this is Piccolo. Here comes the knockdown. Here it is. We're going to go for the regular down forward F, just to make sure we have meterless pressure. You know, we can use the Hellzone Grenade, or we can just save it for later.
Paddu has just been completely ahead of Moss right now. Oh, there's the snapback.
And there it is, guaranteed Hellzone Grenade off that Dragon Rush. And there's the unseeable mix-up. You know, yes, they made it easier to see through, but it's still very hard to see the mix-up that's coming your way. He's dead.
Does he even need to spin a bar? I mean, he's going to, 100%. That was a wonderful sequence from Paddu.
Now, the one thing you can get is, yes, even if you lose in the corner, because of the reset situation, we are back to the mid-screen. But I feel like if Paddu can keep winning in the neutral like this, he's going to corner carry. And there's the orb, still active, what?
So that was active for quite a while.
There's the knockup. All right, we're seeing Moss fight back a little bit. Really, from what we've seen already, I think this Piccolo needs to die. This Piccolo just needs to get out of the picture.
Well, he's going to be attempting that now. He's spending his last 3 bars. Corner knockdown situation. Get off it. Oh, empty low, but the wake-up reflect from Paddu. No fear at all.
Yep, we're going to use the Cell Assist guaranteed Hellzone Grenade. We are starting to see that next level of Piccolo rush down, where you can use certain assists that guarantee it on block as well. So dangerous. And there's the knockdown. Get some damage on the table.
That was a really crisply timed Dragon Rush as well. Normally going for a Dragon Rush when someone's blocking Hellzone Grenade is actually quite difficult. Just kind of, you know, have to get them out of the block stuff. But Paddu timed that perfectly.
And now that's that level 3, hard knockdown. Wake up sparking, completely forced, but Paddu is so healthy, so content to just take it, and there's the low! That's unfortunate. Here comes the damage, and it's just going to waste time, if anything else.
Well, it was only a level 2 sparking, so it's not going to last for the longest time in the world. Good blocking from Moss, but for how long before can he hold it? Oh, the Dragon Rush!
No Dragon Rushes were teched this day, and it's like you're dealing with so much pressure. Taking Dragon Rushes is underratedly difficult, especially in a tournament setting where stress levels are high.
Corner loop again. That's 7 bars, didn't have to spend anything.
Oh, behind! There's that mix-up, and he's dead.
It looks like Moss is really good at kind of blocking the traditional stuff, but as soon as you throw a bit of a curveball in, like the heavy version of the perfect attack, even though that's not particularly tricky at this point, it's a very common thing for Cell to do. It's more that he has a lot of options off of that.
And there we go. Game number 1 in super. I don't want to say necessarily hyper quick, but you know, at no point was Paddu out of control there. That was his game from start to finish.
They're very stable, super stable game from Paddu. And that Piccolo, the Piccolo did the majority of the work there.
I'm never going to be bored of watching Piccolo. This character is so entertaining. And there's a confirm. Can we go for a reposition, or are we just going to try and go coast to coast instead? No, we spend the bar to get the hard knockdown. That's one thing about Piccolo, is to get that hard knockdown out of the corner, you do need to spend that bar for the EX version of his slicer. Now, here we go. We're going to guarantee some more Hellzone Grenade. Here comes the mix. Oh, he just gets caught again. This is so difficult to deal with.
Okay, there's going to be an extension of damage in the corner, but there is the sparking. Moss doesn't want to lose. This can't afford to use that 21 if it's a character you're really invested in.
Oh, super dash. Why not? Here it comes. Right, knockdown time. More. Take the damage for what it is. Yes, please. Oh, Piccolo, and I love...
Oh no, he used it a bit too late.
That was funky, but what I was going to say is I love the choice to end it specifically with Piccolo, so when the character would have gone down, we would have had Piccolo point once again.
Okay, but Piccolo still doing good stuff. Moss on this bar up, trying to find some opportunity here. I feel like Paddu's kind of respect on defense has been pretty good so far.
Because he knows the second he gets that opening, it's going to be his turn for almost an entire life bar. His rushdown has been so on point. Tries to confirm. I think that might have been a jump in light attempt. You can pick up on that ball if you're super, super quick.
Patience again for Paddu, just blocking everything so far. Finds opportunity to jump, but now it's his turn. Oh, the bait.
Ooh. Now, oh no. Hell Zone grenade. Oh, we finally see the low option gone for the third time. It was overhead every other time, and now we're going to mix it up some. And here comes the knockdown into more. Here's the orb to keep it. And the cross-up. Wow. That is so disgusting.
He was just able to completely master that as well. Like, just as the mist disappeared, Piccolo was just crouching behind.
And I love it. That specific combo to make sure that we at least still had corner situations, just in case. Just in case.
He's a bit starved from bar, but MossMossMoss. One character left to go, finds the crouching light.
That's not good.
It's winning the corner as well, I think.
Yeah, we spend the bar because we want the knockdown. Get the guaranteed forward dash. Oh, cross up. So we get both hits of the medium, so we at least make sure we guarantee Vegeta swap the sides. You can't do anything about it. Yeah, back dash. Good call.
I mean, Paddu, he's got all the health in the world. He can afford to do whatever he wants on defense.
There's knockdown.
Is that enough?
Yeah, Hell Zone grenade pickup. Full combo. I love it. Oh, sparking the optimization. That would have been sick. That would have been sick, and I respect it.
Unfortunately, it was a drop, and that's going to be a complete 2H for MossMossMoss. 3. Oh, no. I think by this point, I think Moss is kind of checked out.
I mean, I think that drop is going to stay with him.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're going to try and make a comeback.
It's impactful, right? When you have this much work to do, to drop a level 3, to lose so much resources, and still have even more to do because of it. Like, it's probably not the easiest thing to deal with.
And the cross-up wasn't scouted either. I mean, with the amount of mix-ups you can go for with Piccolo, I think the cross-up is something that you've got to be super versed in the matchup to be ready for.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Piccolo is one of those characters that he sees a lot of competitive play with specific players, but still, generally speaking, isn't the most common character you'll see in the world. So it's almost like you have to be ready in certain ways.
But it's good to see Piccolo. I'm never going to say no to a good Piccolo.
I mean, it's because he's a very entertaining character, right? He's unique. He is absolutely a unique character. No one in the game really provides what he does. I suppose the closest similarity would be Zamasu.
Yeah, I think the second we kind of saw
Zamasu versus Zamasu.
The second we saw Zamasu add to the game, I was like, oh, okay, there's like an extra element of spice with a similar sort of archetype, right? But that said, we are going to be seeing him moving on. No doubt we'll probably see them again later in the bracket, but our pools are going to be continuing. For those that just joined us, welcome to the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour live at VsFighting 2018. We're in Birmingham, man. I'm so glad. It has been a long time coming to make sure that there are so many like prestigious things going on right now, and Dragon Ball FighterZ really is that sort of like cream of the crop in the FGC right now, because it's just everyone's playing it. Everyone is playing this game. There's communities from all over the world coming in from different titles, all enjoying the game in the tournament setting, and the tournaments are sick.
So moving on, it does look like we've got SM Thunder versus Platinumkid. Platinumkid, we've seen around at a lot of different UK events over the last number of years or so. So he's been around for a while. That's kind of, I've seen him dabble and really try out multiple different games, but really, you said it before, right? So many different people have come into Dragon Ball FighterZ looking to play it seriously from the get-go, and there are so many players in the UK specifically that have done that. And it's not a huge surprise at all, because, I mean, it is such a popular franchise, you know, within the FGC itself. And the game is shaped up to be really interesting, and obviously there's so many different scenes playing it.
I believe this could be the same, if memory serves me right, we did see a Thunder in Sonic Boom take 3rd place in Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Now, Sonic Boom was actually a really interesting tournament as well. You know, ultimately, Goichi won it, but it was Shanks had some, who has been doing really well in pools today, had some amazing games specifically against Goichi. You know, really kind of brought it to, even though he did ultimately lose, he was able to, you know, take a decent amount of games, and you know, arguably, like he had the potential to win it, but wasn't quite able to. And Thunder, of course, getting 3rd in Sonic Boom is impressive. You know, Sonic Boom was quite a decent event for Europe course, it clashed with Biennality, which of course was taken by ZeroQ, who's also here. So this is almost like the blending of the European tournament results into one event. And that's what we're moving forward into.
It is nice to see, though. And Platinumkid, I mean, Platinumkid, name a fighting game that he doesn't play. He plays so many, whenever, especially when there's a new game out. Platinumkid is almost consistently, every time, up there in the bracket, just playing it alongside everyone else. And Platinumkid's definitely one of those specialists that plays multiple titles. And I think you get a lot of those players that have gravitated towards Dragon Ball being a new thing, you know, a new thing in the FGC.
Okay, so Platinumkid is a very unorthodox team, to be completely honest. And Thunder, of course, that Team Gohan, another player from Spain. Spain really coming out in force at VsFighting so far and doing well for themselves, absolutely.
But I feel like having Kid Buu as like that anchor position, and not to say anchor, because I feel like we've actually reached a point in the game where it's not really point, anchor, and assist or whatever, like some other versus games. I feel like we're at a point now where it's, you know, we focus on keeping every character alive. Yes, we have a point, but if we have a character left with sparking, then so be it. You know, sometimes that really tends to be the goal. In this case, I think Platinumkid, is he going to try and keep Kid Buu alive as long as possible? Because both of the other characters like Kid Buu assist very much.
I'm not sure, but we will see soon as Thunder manages to get a completely dominant start.
And that definitely was not a combo drop, that was a reset, absolutely. Ready for the situation afterwards.
Oh, I actually like a little bit of meter game, Platinumkid.
But I'm wondering...
about half a bar, it's still something.
Yeah, I'm wondering if using the meter game in that situation rather than trying to establish something is going to be a little bit not worth it, but we'll soon see. Unfortunately, he has lost a character straight away. Yeah,
that is insane. This is the kind of team that I think if they get the opportunity to really combo these supers together, is going to do so much damage. And I think Android 18 is quite an interesting team, you know, because it's that Team Gohan on point is doing a lot of work early on, but it is that 18 assist. You know, 18 normally known for being one of those characters that you put on point is a complete rushdown monster, but deceivingly has quite a unique assist in the sense that if you're just going to try and bait buttons in return, that assist is just going to smother them up. And someone like Team Gohan can get a ton of damage after those situations. Gives a chance.
Good confirm. Freezer going to get a little bit of damage here. We're going to see a knockdown. Good Buu assist trying to go in. Tries to chew through the reflect, but actually just puts himself down a silver plate.
Okay, Thunder bringing in Android 18, spending the 3 bars for the level 3 straight away. Now obviously, you know, Android 18, one of those characters that gets a level 3 knockdown mid-screen into some really guaranteed dirt thanks to the assist, but he doesn't need to do it.
Oh no! Are we having some controller issues right there? What was that?
I'm not sure. Maybe just a moment of not sure what was going on, but of course, kind of going to be continuing.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Alright, we don't see a happy birthday rule, but we see a little bit of damage from Kid Buu. Doesn't really think it's the end of the world though. Here comes Platinumkid.
There's the corner repositioning also, there's the optimization. Yes, 7 bars, surely you spend some, yeah, of course. Spend 3 bars, still have 4 left to go. Get an opportunity to maybe take out a character. All backs up, I think he was maybe trying to bait sparking.
Oh, oh wow! Watch your head! Here comes the... That's actually really annoying to deal with, actually, when you're sort of trying to fight off against Kid Buu. You see that land quite consistently, that.
Yes, indeed. But Kid Buu, you know, you said before about how important thing is going to be to Platinumkid. He's finally doing some serious damage. That Kid Buu.
Oh, there's that mirror situation. I still think I favour Thunder in this situation, though. That said, yep, there's that 2M, watch out. Full combo incoming. You're going to have the assist from Gohan if need be.
Level 1 into level 3, or no, he's level 1. Are you going to get a follow-up? Yes, he will. Spends every single bar just to get as much damage as possible. Look at that, and imagine the pressure that Platinumkid is put under now.
Has forced the sparking. Unfortunately for Platinumkid, though, he's been caught. Fortunately, Thunder didn't have any bar to convert into Vanish, so it is going to take a little bit less time. But he gets hit by another super dash.
Well, that's going to be a slightly knockdown again. Platinumkid, he is still sparking, and every second he's spending in sparking, not regenerating, not attacking, is obviously not going to be going well for him.
Yeah, no Vanish.
Yeah, full screen as well. Platinumkid manages to get the open.
I felt like he really paid the price for not vanishing that. There's that knockdown. Here comes Freezer as well. Not enough to kill, but I wonder if we haven't really seen Platinumkid's Freezer have a chance to do much. We have forced the sparking out there. Thunder definitely prioritizing having characters alive rather than a final character having more utility.
I think Thunder definitely not happy with the idea of having to play this without Kid Buu. Obviously you want to leave that old Gohan, or Team Gohan I should say, by himself. Just for if Kid Buu is potentially there. Another level 1 coming through. Okay, nice chunk of damage. Obviously Platinumkid doesn't have sparking anymore, so any damage is good damage from this point. Oh!
There you go, that should be a confirm. Yes it is. But minimal damage, to be honest. Airborne is going to make things a little bit more difficult. And yeah, there's the reflect. We're not going to super dash, but we're going to reflect to try and nullify it a little bit.
Looks like Thunder's not having the same ease of opening up Platinumkid now. It seems like earlier on in this game, he got a lot of big, chunky damage, relatively kind of unchallenged, whereas now Platinumkid is just making himself so much harder to open up. And even this now, right, that's like scaling so heavily.
What the answer? That's a second time now we've seen Platinumkid land it, and Thunder, he's in trouble right here.
He is indeed. He has quite a weak Kid Buu left with no sparking. He's got 3 bars though. Platinumkid himself, his Kid Buu is very low. Frieza.
Oh, I think maybe expecting Thunder to walk right into that one. We're going to see the vanish. Oh, the backdash into 2M. What a call out.
We're coming down to the wire this time, practically dead even on life. Albeit Platinumkid a little bit higher. Of course, Thunder has the meter advantage, so it's still anyone's game for sure.
Here comes Frieza. Kid Buu's definitely going to have more mix-up options, but will it even matter? Does he have the 3rd bar? He does have it, and that's guaranteed. Going to take him out in Thunder. Interesting.
Yeah, he does drop the game to Platinumkid. Platinumkid, I mean, he did have a bit of an awkward start. I think he did lose Vegito very early. But if he's able to kind of play a little bit better from the start, keep this character alive, Vegito is a point, so obviously he's got a lot of potential with it. We haven't seen as much Vegito today, the Platinumkid. Keep it through.
Yep. We're going to soon change that. Wow! Wow! Okay, here we go. Has he got the stuff? That's what I want to know.
Oh, not sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, I can only assume he had some sort of TOD situation,
however,
otherwise he wouldn't have popped sparking.
However, the reset will definitely do.
Yes, it will.
100% enough damage here.
I mean, he still achieved the end result.
Yes. Just took a little bit longer, I suppose. Mysterio Thunder's going to be happy with that, and Platinumkid, unfortunately, again loses Vegito almost instantly. Was able to bring it back last time, but it was quite a long-fought one. He did the same thing now, I'm not sure. He's massively down on life, or meter, I should say.
Ooh.
Against the 1 bar in the corner.
That Dragon Rush made me flinch right there. Ah, speaking of which, Platinumkid gets caught. Now, this situation, I really like how we're starting to see people go for those knockdown situations, guaranteed a tag, and it lets you choose, who do you want to have the Oki with? In this case, obviously, Team Gohan.
Team Gohan, there's the setup, but there's the reflect now. Thunder has made the adjustment. Kid Buu of his own comes in. There's that Kid Buu mirror, slightly knocked out.
And here comes that pressure. Kid Buu Platinumkid seemingly just gets clipped halfway through the middle of it.
So much damage coming through this level 1. Into level 1.
I mean, we're going to see level 3, surely,
level
yes.
3, 100%.
Thunder's team hurts so much.
Jesus. Indeed, but that's it though. Team Gohan does a deceiving amount of damage, but then you've got Kid Buu by himself does a lot. Obviously, Kid Buu being one of the, or Kid Gohan I should say, is one of those characters that you can really bring in on the end of a combo, provided you've got the bar to really add a ton of damage, if you can. Of course, Platinumkid down with Frieza. This isn't going the same way Platinumkid as the last one did. I feel like this game has kind of been all Thunder. Yeah,
we see the guard counter come out, but it's only really going to achieve so much. We do have plenty of the sparking left for Frieza, but the thing is, with how much health Thunder's characters all have, it's going to take him almost the entire duration of sparking to just take out one. But hang on, reversal? Oh no! No punish!
Yeah, he got the block, but the punish wasn't on deck. Oh, tries to go for the Dragon Rush, but Thunder has some buttons to get himself out. There's that quick double overhead from Platinumkid.
Now this is definitely going to be a dead android, but there's so much work left to go. Here's level 1.
I mean, I don't want to say it's impossible though. He has 3 characters to get rid of for sure, but he's got sparking left. He's got a lot of bar. So it is Frieza, so it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but it's possible.
Whoop. Just out of there from the assist, going to be gone. There's that raw heavy damage again. Let's just take the knockdown. What's the mix-up? Watch out for DP. Oh, speaking of which, no! Wow. Too early!
There you go, Platinumkid is going to be kicking himself because Team Gohan should not be alive right now.
Every ounce of damage Thunder would have got there would have been bonus damage. Fortunately for Platinumkid, he corrected the mistake immediately.
I think Platinumkid might be around the corner for making a 1-character Frieza comeback against 3 characters in this race.
We questioned Frieza, but this might be the catalyst that wins the whole thing. I'm not going to jinx it.
I mean, he's got to watch out enough. Obviously, that Thunder's got the bar, go for the reactionary level 3 if he needs to.
There's the knockdown.
You see Platinumkid, he's being careful, he doesn't want to overextend, but I think that moment of hesitation might be enough.
If you hesitate in Dragon Ball, you die. And there it is, level 3.
I mean, yeah, that's got to be enough, right? It has to be. Yeah, there's no way he survives that. Thunder bringing it back, or I've got to say, Platinumkid was looking like he was on the verge of a comeback himself with just Frieza. Not meant to be. We're going down to a game 3. We've had almost exclusively 2-0s today across the board, so I'm actually quite happy to see a change of pace and actually go down to a game 3 for a change.
I like close games, especially with this much on the line. The immediate catch is going to go to Platinumkid, who calls in Kid Buu. He really wants to have that rush down on back in the corner. Freezer assist and Vegito assist going to work quite nicely with that, I think. Lets him out of the corner, though. A good escape, and now, immediately, momentum gets reversed.
There's one of those Team Gohan corner combos. Did he get off it, though, I wonder? Another one of those quick setups.
Wonderful read on the tech, actually. I like it. Oh, no, overhead.
I love that
you block.
It's almost like you go for that neutral jump, you kind of fake out going for the overhead, and you just go for that last minute forward dash.
And again, that's not the first time we've seen Thunder go for a reset attempt there, expecting Platinumkid to try and tech in a certain direction, and then just reacting accordingly.
Okay, so this time it's Platinumkid's Kid Buu that's gone first, and considering how much work Platinumkid's Kid Buu has done in both the other games, I'm a little bit worried about this. I feel like losing Kid Buu is a huge part of Platinumkid's, how he's been successful so far in the series.
Alright, well, we do see a knockdown. Unfortunately, it's nowhere near enough. Hasn't done enough damage either. We can try and work on it, but yeah, Vegito's mix-up potential, that's one of the things that really sort of separate him is you catch him, you do damage, but catching him can be the hard thing. That said, a couple of wayward hits is going to work out, and he's going to undo the work.
Oh, no, he dropped it!
No.
That is 2 times now that Team Gohan should have been gone, but Platinumkid unfortunately just dropped the combo. Both of opportunities are completely evaded now.
And this level 3 is going to take so long that Team Gohan's going to regenerate a nice amount of life.
But that's the thing, it's not like Team Gohan is only just alive. That's a lot of blue life to regenerate. He's going to be on like half health by the time that's finished.
We're going for the pressure, but Content just sitting there weighing up the sparking. Can't really fling too hard because Thunder, you know he's going to try and catch something, but hang on a minute. There's the cross-up. Finally, it connects.
Okay, here's an opportunity for some Vegito damage. There's 4 bars. What can he do with this? There's one on the vanish.
That's what he was going for. Ooh, the assist catches, but almost lets Thunder out of the corner. It's almost like Platinumkid did him an accidental favor right there.
Well, Platinumkid now on the receiving end of some damage. The overhead. Looking to lead into all of this. Oh!
Pressure.
Now that was so clean from Thunder. Just that quick reset after the level 1. Very cheeky stuff coming through. There's 1 bar, but you need more? Or is that enough? That's enough. Wow. Platinumkid now back to Freezer by himself again, but this time doesn't have sparking to work with.
Match point situation for Thunder. It was a rocky start, definitely, but he's able to really collect himself. Looking good.
Well, that's supposed to be enough. He doesn't want to use level 3. Oh, no, he tries. Not quite close enough.
Really tried to optimize, but unfortunately left so much damage on the table. Android survives again, but
oh, the health regeneration. That's not what Platinumkid wants to see.
And there's a lot of bar. So it's going to be all about the setup. Is Kid Buu going to extend? Yes, it is. Here we go.
Wow.
Here comes some more. Here comes some more. Destructo Disc as a special guest. Oh, my God. What? Oh my God!
Goodness, he has more!
Oh my God! Someone throwing the towel. He's already dead. That's game over, Mustard.
Unbelievable. What a combo. I mean, what even was that?
I mean, the second we saw the sparking, you know something's coming.
I mean, at this point in Dragon Ball FighterZ life, yeah, you have to be careful. If someone has 3 characters and like hella meter, and they pop sparking the second they hit you, I mean, chances are something bad is coming your way.
I think I say this late in the game's lifespan. The game obviously is still new, but now we've kind of got into more tournaments and more competitive, and people are starting to get more versed in the high level. If someone sparkings that early, you know it's coming.
And it's time to be concerned. But that was such an incredible combo from Thunder.
That was sick.
That's one of my favorite things to watch in this game is when players have that kind of like optimization. Because some players play with like a higher level of optimization than others. I feel like Goichi really is the top optimization god right now. Some players are starting to catch up slowly but surely. There are a number of Japanese players that are kind of catching up here and there. And now, even some more international players around the world are starting to really optimize maximum damage of every opportunity, every touch. But just seeing stuff like that, I feel like every player has, if their team is capable of doing 100%, they will know how to do it. Now, whether it's off of something that's like super practical, I don't know, but we're seeing it slowly but surely. But moving on into our next game, as always, we have Moke versus Faranhite coming up. I believe this is from Newcastle Fight Club, Faranhite?
It could be. I believe NFC is.
Yeah, I believe it's Newcastle in the United Kingdom.
Another part of the UK coming versus fight.
Indeed.
Sick.
But of course, it's going to be Moke from Japan, who's going to be stepping to the plate. Obviously, if any of you have watched Dragon Ball FighterZ tournaments this year, you've probably seen Moke around once or twice, having some big success for himself.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is because Moke kind of fits into that perfect mold of excellent Dragon Ball FighterZ player, where it's efficiency with the team, goes with a team that works really well. Extremely experienced in tournaments right now. You know, from the very first major Dragon Ball FighterZ tournaments, Moke was already right there. And as every tournament has sort of really sprung out, he's remained consistently right up at the top of the ladder. And I think that's what you want to have in the World Tour setting, where you can sort of play in a bunch of tournaments that aren't World Tour related and still place amazingly well. You kind of know what you're in for going into the World Tour. And Moke's been able to, I think, sort of deliver that consistently.
Yeah, and I think consistency really is key, though. I feel like in this game, it's really important for that, because obviously, like, it's 2 out of 3, so it's not got the most room for adaptation. But still, you know, these games can be quite long. If your defense is like, you know, strong, is really sound, it's quite reliable for you to be able to, you know, be able to block the majority of what people can throw at you nowadays. I feel like there are very few mix-ups at the moment that we see in a match-to-match basis that,
was,
you know,
putting that into rest mode intentional right there? I don't know if that was supposed to happen.
Oh,
but it happened.
Considering Moke has got up to look at the console, I'm not too sure.
What happened? It went black. I thought we were playing Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Well, apparently we are, just not right this second.
Oh, hi guys.
But I feel like consistency is important, and especially in this game now, especially now the World Tour started, and of course we had CEO, we've got VsFighting now, we have UFA coming up, we have all these different Saga events around the world. But it's like I've been saying before, I can't believe this game's only been out for like 4 months.
Because the level of play is so good.
Because the level of play, and also how many events there have already been. You know, this is just the beginning of the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour, but there's been events for this game from the moment the game came out to now, of like, you know, some of the biggest scale there is, you know, when it comes to grassroots, and a lot of those events are now Saga events for the World Tour. But because we've seen so much of the game and already so many players from so many regions, it feels like this game has such an established history, and this is just the beginning of this game.
Yeah, you almost wonder what is the level of play going to be like when we fast forward the clock a year from now. You know, a year later, how optimized is everyone going to be? You know, and obviously with future DLC that's coming out, you know, future characters, how will that shape the game? Because a lot of DLC, you know, from day one to now, you know, you see a lot of Bardock. You know, we've been seeing Vegito today. There are teams, prominent teams, that have Broly in the lineup, and obviously SonicFox at this tournament with Zamasu. Is Zamasu going to take a tournament this weekend?
SonicFox has played Zamasu all day, and I assume we'll be seeing more of that as we go along. But it looks like we are about to get ready into the more of this pool play with Moke versus Faranhite.
PS4's nice and rested.
Yep, had that 10-second rest, don't worry about it.
Now, this is an interesting team, Piccolo, Tien, and Gotenks. I always actually felt like Tien and Piccolo work really well together. You know, it's obviously doesn't really have much meaning, because that was my day one team, was Piccolo and Tien, and you kind of realize that they have a lot of natural synergy. You know, Tien really likes that tracking orb, on top of like the conversions you can get off a lot of Tien's moveset, and then vice versa. You know, one of the very first assists you would see that would set up Hellzone Grenade was that Dodon Ray.
Well, of course, we see that a lot from Apology Man also, right? He's
always,
he's always been pairing these two characters together. Has been important.
I was really hyped, to be fair, when I saw Apology Man with the same team as me, because I could just steal everything, because he has a bigger brain than I do.
Deal with me. But Faranhite being opened up first by Moke.
Okay, there's that knockdown. Trunks going in just to extend, and Trunks, a character we don't see a lot of, but when we do see him, there's always behind the wheel of a very efficient player.
So much damage already go. Done to Faranhite. Moke's used a lot of bargain process. Faranhite trying to fight back now. I think he's going to try and get a... Oh, blue combos.
Yeah, both a blue combo and completely fell out of it. That might have been like sort of that next level, I think, optimization, but unfortunately when you drop it, you kind of lose all the situations. Tries to go for the air Dodon Ray, that also doesn't work. A Cell coming in full speed ahead. Here comes Kindeyu back in for another time. Oh, give me that Piccolo. I want him. Wonderful block. Still not ways to go.
Oh, wow, no, Moke with slight hesitation.
Is that going to work? Yes, it will. All right, Piccolo survives. How about that?
I actually like that from Faranhite as well. Because I feel like Moke was very surprised that it hadn't connected, and Faranhite just immediately did the light grenade.
Nah, Dodon Ray, really good assist, even though, you know, it's just an individual hit. It has such a wonderful hitbox on it, and on hit you can get some great combos too, especially as Piccolo. Now here we go. We want that Kindeyu back in. Expect 2H, maybe expecting some sort of like tech direction or a double jump.
Oh, wow, yeah. Trunks walks straight into a super dash.
That's going to give him some free damage, and here comes Kindeyu again. Oh, wow.
tag again, Faranhite. To be honest, he finds himself quite starved on meter. Like he's getting a lot of opportunities for damage, but he just doesn't have the resources to get maximum damage at the moment. But the fact that he's winning a lot of these situations for damage is really impressive in itself.
What is the situation from TN? I really need jump heavy. TN, do not underestimate how rush down heavy this character can be. Oh, almost baits the reflect, but doesn't get the punish.
Not quite sure from Faranhite there though. He went for a sparking activation on block, like mid rush down, as opposed to like seeing something connect and then confirming into the sparking, which is what we more commonly see.
That does mean that Moke has the sparking locked and loaded though. That's the danger. Hasn't needed to use it yet. Hasn't even come close to needing to use it yet. All right, here comes Piccolo again. Piccolo just refuses to die, but now disrespect's coming in and pays for it with his life.
That's Piccolo gone. Of course, we saw Faranhite try and get a lot of damage with it, but as the TN comes flying in. Oh no, they're close enough to get the full combo, but still reacts with the 2H.
I mean, even mid backdash, Moke is going to be ready at all times. Here comes that burning attack. Give us another level 1. Dead.
And that Cell coming in too. Cell's got sparking, Cell's got those 2 assists. And yeah, if Moke's got a TOD, it's going to be now. He gets the right chance to at least.
Oh my word. Stop with the super dash. And
uh-oh.
You were saying,
you
were just talking about this. You were just talking about this.
Oh no, he missed it.
Either missed it or went for a reset, either way.
We have actually seen an alarming number of dropped TOD attempts today. I know that obviously didn't technically count because it wasn't 100% life, but we have seen quite a lot of players attempt TODs today, but alarmingly few of them actually succeed.
I mean, they're pretty hard.
I mean, yeah, of course, but like, still, for like some players that you're used to not seeing them, used to like, seeing them not drop, are dropping it.
It's just them Birmingham vibes. It's just the effect we have on them, I think.
Oh dear. Still though, it's a strong game one for Moke. Faranhite managed to get a lot of damage early on. When he gets an opportunity here, it looks like Moke is airtight with his pressure, but misses a confirm to follow up for more damage.
That was quite surprising, actually. That's the kind of combo you very rarely see anyone drop. Right, here comes Piccolo, knockdown. Spending his only bar on the knockdown though, but it's great because one thing the orb does do, it does a really good job of baiting out super dashes. You know, you can super dash right through it, and there's the cross-up. Not ready for the Dragon Rush at all.
I mean, he's got 2 bars, he's going to have 3. This is probably, oh no, has to spend 1 for the Sunday.
Have to spend 1 on the knockdown with Piccolo. Unless you're in the corner, you've got to spend resources to get that splat situation. Here comes Cell. Straight back into the corner, mate. Oh, the bait. Excellent reaction too. I love it.
Oh my god! Back, but doesn't even need them because he is always ready with the reactionary 2H. Literally nothing is squeezing by.
Okay, that's Piccolo out of there. He survived for quite a while in the previous game. Definitely not as much in game 2. The Dodon Ray is actually really good because how fast it is. You know, the Dodon Ray does a great job of setting up those kind of like banish situations which put TN plus. And because its jabs so fast, it's a great way in. Unfortunately, didn't work out there at all.
Let's reflect again, Moke. He's always ready for Faranhite's trying. Picks up, but there's the defense.
Oh, he can only block for so long against a Cell though. How long will you last? That's the question. Okay, we're going to see a knockdown and just a raw level 3. We want the damage and we want the next touch to kill.
This is what we're going to be in territory of. He has got Kindeyu assist. He uses just to lock him down, but there's the wake up sparking. Faranhite just trying to get out of there.
Ooh, Beyblade! Oh no! And again, just 100% hit rate on that 2H super dash. Because they're pretty obvious super dashes to be fair. Those jump back super dash is quite a common retreating method.
There's another corner loop. Faranhite's sparking time has just been completely wasted. The event coming through again with the attempt to reflect. He goes to that space. Faranhite's able to turn in some damage.
Yeah, Faranhite with the adaptation. Doesn't want to go for 2 reps of that chain at the end there because he did understand the second time he tried it, he actually missed it. But, you know, didn't really help him out too much, unfortunately. Still in a bad spot right here. What's the mix-up? Oh, the low!
Full combo into sparking this time. Does Moke have the extension for the damage? There's 3 level 1s that should be enough.
Yeah, that sparking just served the purpose to try and build enough level 1s back to back. Unfortunately, he dropped it, but TN is so weak. You wonder if it's going to mean much. He has to make this one count, but then TN does so much damage to himself. He can only get 1 hit of this. He can't carry it on.
He's got Chaozu, but he's going to use it. Oh! Wow. Okay, with the wake up level 3 to get rid of Magic Pixel of life. Seemingly unnecessary, but I assure you it was not.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. It's actually one of the issues that TN does have, and obviously he has some of the highest damaging supers in the game, but the cost is his own life. And if he didn't have the health to take it, if he had just an ounce of extra health, we would have seen an extra bar spent.
The only one you can't hurt yourself with is obviously Chaozu.
Yes.
You're literally losing a special move by doing it.
Exactly, and he needs that by himself too. That's a really good way for him to get Oki. Without it, he does not necessarily struggle, but he likes it very much. Oh, the catch off the assist. Hasn't got the bar to kill yet, but has all the characters. This is an uphill climb, Faranhite, unfortunately. Good block. How long are you going to block for? Plus, just sitting there and respecting.
There's the donut, the patience from Moke. Dragon Rush connects. Faranhite, he does have the bar to get a kill here if he uses level 3.
All right, there it is. As you said, probably going to get a kill on this level 3, but the danger is every time he kills a character here, he's going to go back to a neutral. And in the neutral with like 5% life, that's scary.
Well, it's tough. And he can afford to take a key blast.
Trunk still has full health, man. Oh, hello.
Goes straight into the spin top. Oh no!
That's unfortunate.
Another beam, but yeah, there we go. Just walks straight into the jumping H. Had an opportunity to, but Moke was just too in the lead for too long, I think.
I feel like when you have an amazing start as well, it puts a colossal amount of pressure on you, where you have no choice but to pretty much win a mountain climb-based battle. And it all comes down to having a bad start, where that's kind of like almost like their reward for doing it and your punishment for letting it happen.
Well, we have seen that this can be the kind of game where you will make one mistake and basically lose a character for it. If it's like TOD or into a setup that you can't block. So there isn't really a lot of room for those kind of mistakes, which is what we see a lot. I think that really is what's separating a lot of the players here today between, like, I don't want to say the low level, because I don't make it sound like, you know, I'm really underselling what anyone can do, but between, I suppose, the top level players that are here and the competitive players that are here that are less experienced in those events, in this kind of environment, is that kind of like ability to come back from those mistakes or to just not make them entirely. And I think a big part of it is defense. Some of the best players we've seen today have had just like a brick wall defense that is so hard to break into, which is so important in this game because it is so setup heavy and so crazy, and the assists play such a huge part that if you can fundamentally defend yourself well in this game, you will, by default, just stand a much better chance of getting further in events if you can keep your bottle and keep it together in events when blocking is the hardest it ever will be. And that's what I think is separating, because a lot of the players are struggling with that, and then you've got the best of the best. Like, it's just like, just another day for them.
All right, sorry, just been informed by production what's actually going on here. So this is our last match before we hit our official top 32. So once we kind of hit top 32 territory, that's where things get very interesting, because that's obviously naturally where the players that are within top level competition start to kind of get weeded out, and they start to go off against each other. With this being our second event in the DB World Tour, I'm kind of excited to see what happens here, because fundamentally, we're expecting a lot of the expected, aren't we? You know, we're expecting SonicFox.
So you're not saying expect the unexpected, you're saying expect the expected.
Sometimes I think that is the case, and I think here there's going to be an element of that.
Pool play definitely has.
But there are some players in this bracket in the UK that have a real shot against, I think, pulling off upsets and making a name for themselves. You know, I really do think, not to put him on a pedestal just in case he can hear me, but I think Aixy is one of those players that a lot of people wouldn't have heard about, but is well known in the UK for being incredibly dangerous. I believe he's been playing in, you know, some of like the Panda Global stuff, for example, as well, and like he's been playing in those online cups and doing quite well too.
Yeah, and that's why it's not a huge surprise that he's here. You know, he really has been around the UK winning event after event, and he's doing well in his pool so far. We're moving into our final match of pools before we move into top 32. We have Rixta versus Blaze Phoenix to finish off pool play. Presumably this is still winners action. I don't think we've actually had any losers matches on stream yet. But Rixta, I believe, is a Piccolo player in the UK. We saw him at Fist of the Not Star a couple of months ago.
We did. I was trying to remember why this name sparked my mind.
I believe he got second place there. He lost to Aixy, go figure. But it was a really good tournament for him. I think it was really impressive to see him get as far as he did. He had a very interesting style with Piccolo that really worked.
His Piccolo is excellent. But
no. Am I thinking of someone else?
I don't know. I know there is a really sick Piccolo.
Rixta was definitely at Fist of the Not Star, but I can't remember if it... Unless he is the Piccolo player.
How are we commentators and our memory is this terrible?
No. I wonder if the names are swapped, because that has obviously been an ongoing thing. But I'm fairly sure I remember Rixta as a Piccolo player.
Oh yeah, because his Piccolo was top notch.
Yeah, but they suggested he's not a Piccolo player.
But also, there
and
was
now it's got me doubting.
the doubts in our brain. The seeds have been planted. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out, I'm sure. That said, the green team coming from the right side there, Cell 16
it is
and
a
Piccolo.
very green team, to be fair.
And then obviously they're probably not going to have green colors. You have custom color schemes and all that. But here we go. Now immediately, having Cell with Piccolo assist I think is a great combination. You know, Piccolo's assist can be sometimes underestimated because it is so good at tracking, and if it tracks really well, it almost like shuts down some of the screen. And everyone wants to move around, right? And what a whiff punish. Optimizing like the highest amount of no scaling. Just a raw heavy.
It's not a bad way of starting things off. Gohan already forced to tag out just to stay alive. There's an opportunity now with Vegeta into a Dragon Rush. Establishing that mix-up game early. He is going to go towards that option.
It's like I said, right? It does plant the seed. It puts the doubt in your mind that this is not you got to watch out for, and you're on your toes immediately. But there you go, the snap. We want to get Cell out of the equation. I think we fear Cell a lot more than the other two, at least when it comes to by themselves.
That's the delay. No reaction mitigate. Cell's just trying to make sure he's not doing anything. Oh no, tries to whip punish, but presses one light too many.
To confirm in the corner. I wonder if we're going to swap to Piccolo for the knockdown. No, we want 16. Okay.
This is going to do a lot of damage, and if Vegeta is gone, that's actually a very useful assist not here on the team.
Okay, wake up sparking's been forced. That panic button's been pressed. There we go, yeah. Just to confirm, guys, actually the names were in fact reversed. It is going to be Rixta going in with 16 Piccolo and Cell. So sorry about that, but we're back up to speed now.
But that was such an important wake-up sparking though for Vegeta from Blaze Phoenix, because Vegeta went down from like what 10% health near enough to almost full again. That's really insane. Oh, DP straight through, one step ahead.
That's why sometimes though we see people do the raw DP on the opponent's wake up, because it's so active. If they sparking, it actually doesn't save them. Here we go. There's the knockdown for another time, and we have bar for days on account of it. Level 1 into level 1. Yeah, let's just save the bar. And we want Piccolo up next. This is a dangerous situation now. Your Blaze.
Okay, well, Blaze was forced to use Sparking to save this Vegeta. But he doesn't have Gohan anymore instead. Like we said before, he is this Piccolo player. He doesn't know what he's doing.
We spend the farm right here. Yeah, they're just spending all of the farm to guarantee the setup. And there's the low. Jumps out of the... Actually, jumping out was quite a brave option, I feel. But it worked. You know, we can't, don't knock it if it works, but yeah, surprising.
Yeah, reactionary DP on the super dash, but there's the 2H.
Absolutely dead. Forced to spend his only bar of meter, but he'll take that to be one character away from winning the first game, that's for sure.
Not a bad way of going around things. I actually love the way Rixta's been kind of rotating his characters as well. They've all lost quite a bit of damage between them, but the fact that they're all still alive and he's got no sparking, obviously he's just tagging them in at the right time, keeping the maximum utility.
Oh, another low comes through. And he's going to build a lot of bar here. Obviously, with no sparking, it means he's going to have to kind of build it the old-fashioned way. But even then, he's going to get a knockdown. And now we're in a touch-to-kill situation.
Oh, there's the reflect. Rixta's still going in. And the vanish. Every single vanish that connects, that's going to be really dangerous for Phoenix. He doesn't have the health to take them anymore.
Oh, didn't have the bar to vanish. If only he did, we could have killed Cell right there. But the assist is going to be the final hit right there anyway. 1-0 for Rixta, looking good.
Yeah, as expected. You know, Rixta was... he's a player that's been up and coming in the UK for a little while now, for a couple of months. Really been putting in the grind, really been putting in the work, and this is kind of proof of that, right?
And now here we go. One thing Rixta is, he's really quite a pusher of, I think, with Piccolo, is that even though Piccolo really is his favorite character and it's kind of what he's known for, he makes sure he has a really dangerous character with an amazing neutral up front, and then when he lands the knockdown, he then changes into Piccolo when he knows he has the situation. I think we actually saw him with Goku Black before, I'm pretty sure, back in the Fist of Star days. He has since then gone for a change, I believe.
I mean, I did see him play once 2 months ago. I can't remember exactly all three. I remember there being a Piccolo.
I just remember a Piccolo and a character with a good neutral.
I do remember 16 as well, so it was Piccolo and 16. I cannot remember for life of me who the third was off the top of my head. But regardless, you know, whether it was Cell or not, still looking really comfortable with the character now anyway. PlayStation has already lost Gohan again.
Absolutely. And he goes in for a reset attempt. Doesn't quite catch it, but and another 2H. You cannot vanish this guy at all.
But that's the thing, you know, Rixta is repeatedly punishing it, but you know, Blaze is repeatedly testing their reaction, testing the readiness. And over again, Rixta is showing, well, I am ready for it, you know, feel free to keep doing it, because I'm going to keep punishing you for it.
That's a blue reset. And unfortunately, if you don't go for your combo text, then that's going to be the punishment, I think.
Blue combos.
Let him get away with it, and you're going to lose a character.
No matter how one-sided the game, you always have to be ready to take out those combos if you can. You never want to give your opponent the opportunity to take damage that you should not have given them.
Here we go. One repositioning again, just the typical cell loops. There's the knockdown, yeah, forcing the sparking, but Rixta is so confident with that sparking. Just let it run out the time. And cell combos take so long. And here comes Piccolo, just in case it wasn't long enough. Stuck blocking for eternity, and don't get anything out of your sparking. There we go. Hellzone grenade, yes, of course. Oh, what the pressure. Just trying to challenge it on Wake Up. Does someone let him out, though? I wonder if he just tried to do DP.
I'm not sure, but the problem is Blaze Phoenix, he popped sparking about 15 seconds ago, and this is the first time he's managed to get an opening of his own. He spent most of this time on the back foot or taking damage, just to get a gap for the final flash, but what can he do with it? Can he kill Piccolo? Ooh, not quite.
Yeah, wonderful reactions on that tech right there. Still managed to stay in control, though. You have to wonder how long he's going to last it for, because he has such little meter. He has to win in the neutral 3 times in a row, and Rixta, we haven't even seen his Android yet.
Haven't needed to. It just hasn't been needed as Rixta is getting closer and closer to probably taking this if this doesn't drop. Yep, there we go. Rixta moving on comfortably through this bracket. And that is going to be it for pool play. We are now ready and raring to go for our top 32 action of the day. The pools have been fierce. It has been a long day of Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour action. But now, top 32. This is what it all boils down to.
This is where the matches get ridiculous. You know, that's basically the bottom line, is we're going to see some good games right now. And we are getting that one step closer towards top 8, which I'm sure everyone's looking forward to.
But this does mean we're at the point in the tournament that we're starting to see. So, as we've said before today, pool play really has been, I suppose, predictable in terms of results. We haven't really had anything that could be considered an upset, at least on stream. But there are obviously plenty of amazing Dragon Ball FighterZ players here today. Excuse me. There are plenty of amazing players here to go. And now in top 32 is where they're going to clash. And I can already see that we've got Kindeyu and ZeroQ ready to play. And this is just the first. And basically every game in top 32 is like this.
Absolutely, and you know, ZeroQ is a player that I think he's on a lot of European fans' radar. You know, he's one of the players where if you're looking at European players that I think are dangerous at this point in time, ZeroQ is, you know, within that top end of the list. He's
a successful European player. You know, he's won WSO Open, he won Vianality a couple of weeks ago. His entire top 8 run in Vianality, you know, he was against opponents like White Black, Foxy Grampa was in there, Rizza, you know, Aixy, that there were a lot of good players in that top 8. And he won that top 8 completely unscathed. He didn't drop a single game in that top 8 at all. And today has basically been the exact same thing. He's bringing in that Vegeta Blue, Gotenks, and Cell. But that is what it's about. Okay, so we will be starting very soon with Kindeyu versus ZeroQ. So this is going to be an interesting one. Kindeyu has had quite a clean demonstration today, I think, overall. This is the first time I've personally seen him play, and again, impressed. But you know, we know that Kindeyu has been around in the FGC for a very long time. You know, seemingly plays anything with an air dash, and is clearly very competent at the game. And ZeroQ, you know, a bit of a newer player in terms of, you know, Dragon Ball FighterZ per se, but I know he does play other games also, so he's been around in the FGC for a little while. But this is going to be an interesting clash for sure, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think ZeroQ is one of the favorites for Europe to be able to get far today. So I think a lot of Europe is really pulling for him to get past Kindeyu right now. But we know that Kindeyu has been playing well, and this is going to be tough for sure.
And it's fundamentals through and through. That's one thing a lot of our Japanese players always have, is just rock solid fighting game fundamentals.
All right, so here we go. Top 32 for Dragon Ball Fighters versus Fighting 2018. The first European stop on the Dragon Ball Fighters World Tour. We are ready to go with ZeroQ from Germany versus Kindeyu of Japan.
And we're at that point. There is a disappointing lack of crowd involvement from Cell.
The crowd has seen like 20 Cell players today, and this has been the case. Okay, 2 people. I heard 2 people.
All right, 2 people. Right, we're going to go for 4 people next time. That's going to be my goal.
4 people is the goal next time.
Right, yeah, that'll be the mission. However, 2 Cells up front. I mean, you guys have seen this episode before, and for good reason. This character is so dangerous with good assists. And now here we go. ZeroQ really famous for that blue Vegeta. And now opening up Kindeyu. Huge damage incoming. And now, what's the situation? Pressure. Don't take watch your feet, mate. There's the low. And now ZeroQ is going to get the first character killed on the board.
But that's why I think this is such a complete team from ZeroQ, because both Cell and Vegeta Blue both get insane amounts of mix-up potential from the go-takes assist. It really is such a well-constructed team for what it is.
There's the pressure. Oh, wow, almost like a delay, expecting a button.
Of course, please ignore the overlay. It is, in fact, ZeroQ versus Kindeyu. It is not SonicFox Vs RMZ.
Maybe later.
I mean, of course, absolutely 100% later.
Sorry, guys, we gave you a result too early. Never mind, forget it.
ZeroQ has just been absolutely just playing a one-player game so far. There's a delayed assist call. As guard counter gets him through, spends the bar. Of course, the scaling on this is heavy, but it is going to be doing a nice repositioning, if anything.
Oh, no!
Oh, he dropped it!
I just feel like when I see the sparking, I should be quiet. Because I don't want to like distract him, because he drops it a lot.
Oh, but that is going to be Kindeyu given a chance at survival. But this is an opportunity for ZeroQ to keep it going. He may have run out of sparking, but every single second he can spend attacking Kindeyu with Kindeyu sparking is being completely ran out of time.
Well, if they can at least trade a sparking for sparking, it's going to be in ZeroQ's favor purely because of the character advantage.
Oh, good attempt from Kindeyu, but ZeroQ out of range. Barbaric assist comes in. Vegeta Blue comes flying in.
A jump-in tag, a very common answer to that mix-up right there. You gotta watch out. Gets clipped, but minimal damage. There's only going to be a super dash. Yeah, stuck there blocking. Tried to go for an option, and it just wasn't the right one. They're just in a good position right now.
But the thing is, because ZeroQ drops that TOD attempt, like, that's what happens. You know, when you have 3 characters and you pop sparking because you're trying to go for that touch of death, that one-hit kill potential, 100% combo, and you drop the combo, you've literally thrown your sparking away for completely no reason, or not even no reason, for nothing, you know, for no game. It's just gone. And unfortunately for ZeroQ, if Kindeyu is able to take out one of his characters, this game is dead even again.
Backdash is the plus frames. Good tool. Cell with a really, really good backdash. And now he's picked him up again. Level 1 to another level 1. Here comes the ghosts. And there it is. Okay, 1 more character left to go, and ZeroQ's going to be 1 game up in this bracket right here.
Oh, neither player have any bars to work with, so it's going to be pretty honest for the first time. Obviously, ZeroQ does have that massive advantage in the fact that he's got 3 characters. Kindeyu shouts out. More damage coming through, corner carry, for sure. 2 bars, can't imagine he's going to spend 1 here yet. Trying to go for the reset, which he almost gets. Very nearly had the opportunity.
Ah, oh, there is the reflect, the knowledge, the matchup. And that's going to be a clean punish. ZeroQ has 2 bars, he can get a good position here. Here we go, what's next? Yeah, we finish it, and there's the reset attempt. Wonderful tech, really sick tech from Kindeyu, but I wonder if it's enough. He is so nearly dead here. What?
Yep, there's the disrespect from ZeroQ. I think, of course, when you've got that much character's advantage, you can afford to be a little bit like that. You know, if your opponent has plus frames, try and press buttons out of it. But it does mean level 3 coming down. ZeroQ, Cell is still alive. Kindeyu did have to spend all of his resources for that. And he still keeps Cell alive.
That's not good news for Kindeyu, unfortunately, because that's just going to allow Cell to regen all that blue life back.
I mean, he's trying to open him up, but no, not meant to be. ZeroQ. We've actually seen that a lot from ZeroQ over the last number of tournaments he's been at. He is willing to just block and just sit there and wait for any moment where he's gone back to neutral. And if you're against a single character, you're going to have your moment. Like, Kid Buu is going to keep you blocking forever by himself with no bar.
Oh! Snap right there. There we go. Mix up. Watch out. There's so many ways that mix up can go. It really is one of the best in the game.
Attack at the end of that. The rolling attack, so he gets the same setup.
Gets clipped, but no confirm. I think Kindeyu really believed that was going to work. Not ready for the follow-up.
He's been coming in early this time. Didn't see him until quite a ways into the last game. I think so. Just wants to get some out of it.
Okay.
And here we go. Kindeyu. Kindeyu knows a thing or two about these TODs. No, but he drops it as well.
God. Are we just bad luck for these guys?
I think we might be, like a bad luck charm.
All I can really say is I'm really sorry, but I'm also not.
I mean, but the problem is, and obviously, no, it's good for Kindeyu because he was able to still salvage it. He still kept his sparking for a little bit, so he's still able to get the damage in the end. But it really is such a disaster when you drop your touch of death because you're throwing sparking away. It's such a useful mechanic, like a crucial mechanic.
Well, that said, even though we saw a drop come through, he hasn't really been punished for it. I mean, he's lost resources.
This has been a complete turnaround from the last game. Kindeyu has just been completely on top of things this entire time. Oh, there we go. The empty jump into the low. There's that assist again from Kindeyu. The lockdown is just absolutely bonkers.
And the assist just in case. Trying to stay a little bit safer. So a solo Gotenks comeback, it's happened, but it's difficult to achieve.
I mean, that's why I don't want to call him out completely because there's a chance it can happen. ZeroQ is a good player, playing Gotenks for a while.
All right,
wake up sparking.
I mean, he had no choice. He really couldn't risk getting caught there. Going in for the Beyblade, just in case. Safe distance always. And Kindeyu, very content just holding up, but there's the whiff punish. One too many ground punches, and they're gonna punish a little bit for this. Oh no! Drops the combo.
Yeah, for ZeroQ. When you're in this potential situation that you need to make a comeback and you need to make a comeback quickly, before to drop combos like that.
Okay.
Level 3 coming through.
So, yeah, it doesn't do a huge amount of damage to level 3, but it does give him a good position. Unfortunately for ZeroQ, there's so much health left to go. There's a mountain. And there we go. Another pickup. But again, he had a lot of meter that had been spent to even be in this situation. And there's level 1. Can't layer it on top of himself. Has to just go for pressure instead. And the patience! What a read!
Okay, so we said this comeback was possible. That's 1/3 of the work done. Bardock coming in, but won't have to worry about Kindeyu assist anymore. That Kindeyu assist has been doing absolute work for Kindeyu and is now completely off the cards.
And another good thing for ZeroQ is that he took very minimal damage to get that first character. So if we can get Kindeyu's Bardock again without taking any damage, then this is going to become a pretty substantial 1v1. Unfortunately, he did drop that combo at the end there, so leaving it on the table. As the bar, though, so we can still kill on one hit here. Oh my god.
Careful. There it is, the tag. Okay, air to air from ZeroQ. He's ready to confirm, bringing in Bardock. Wants to get rid of him. Wants to get rid of him now. Do a super. Oh, the cross under attempt.
That was a hard read.
I think he was attempted maybe a level 1.
Either a level 1 or a double jump or something like that. Something that would have been caught by it. But he made a bad call, and now he's in big trouble because he did get a hard knockdown, and you've just got to make sure you block this properly.
Okay, ZeroQ on the floor.
Oh no!
The jump low, that's probably be enough damage. He's going to build the second bar for sure. This is Bardock. This is going to be quite a tidy amount of damage. That's going to be, yeah, 100%. That is a dead character for sure.
Give us that Riot Javelin, and that's going to be a 1-1.
Okay, well, ZeroQ was in the process of making a comeback, but wasn't meant to be, as Kindeyu was able to stop that dead in its tracks. But a lot that came of how the match started. Kindeyu got the first opportunity, attempted a touch of death, ended up turning it into a reset and still killed the character really early.
It was actually kind of almost like a mirror effect of what happened in game number 1.
Oh, see Kindeyu flinging around with perfect attacks. You know, there's one thing he's looking for, the trade. Oh, there's an opportunity for ZeroQ, and he will get the crossover.
Caught one of those sort of like wayward lights, and I don't feel like he fully believed in it, even though it worked out. But fortunately, he was able to kind of pick up the pieces and get it again. And again, seeing the tag, reacting with jab, using the active frames to just shut down any advance.
But for the first time today, he's hit the jab and not followed up. I wonder if now we're seeing signs of not a huge amount of confidence in them, but there's the bait. ZeroQ is still playing sound. He's still baiting the right things. Kindeyu providing exactly what ZeroQ needed.
Okay. This sparking has been used to gain as much meter as possible because now we can do level 1 into no doubt another level 1. And here it comes. Kindeyu loses his first character very, very quickly, and ZeroQ working on a perfect.
I love that sparking activation as well, because he used it quite late into the combo, so not only did it build in some bar, he now has the sparking benefits for a few seconds. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get anything off of them, but did attempt an empty vanish, but didn't get too much from it. But was still able to take a massive lead. I'll take the first carry now, but Kindeyu trying to get some opportunities here. There's the reflect into a clean punish. ZeroQ now in trouble, because he's going to be on the floor now. Is this level 3 spent or not? No, he doesn't like it.
Yeah, we just want Oki. Doesn't pick up. Almost like Kindeyu was ready to pick up, but just didn't believe in it. Okay, yeah, there's the tag. Wonderful vanish. It did cost him his only bar, but he's out of it. Mix up. Wonderful block.
Showing the patience.
More blocks needed.
Triple overhead. He got the third opportunity, but ZeroQ manages to find the way through. Spends the bar on the heavy version, the perfect attack. So that's going to be a lot of damage coming through. No bar spent here though. Oh, the wake up!
Oh my god, they both go in for a super dash, but ZeroQ does his a little bit too late and just gets clipped by itself.
Go, go!
Yeah, but it's the immediate.
Oh, the vanish for the vanish! Debu always flew straight over his head.
Oh, the reaction!
The 2H! ZeroQ 100% still ready and waiting. Here's the donut, here's the combo. And the level 3 final flash, Kindeyu on the floor. And his sparking blast has run out. Kindeyu has to be careful, gets tagged, knee to the face. Vegeta Blue doing some serious work. This is going to be enough damage for sure. And the energy field from Cell, ZeroQ is completely in control.
ZeroQ making the choice to make sure we have this 1v1 with Cell versus Kid Buu. We want this dominant neutral. We want the 2 assists and the damage on top of it. Can he pull this one off and move on in the bracket? That's what I wonder.
Oh, it's going to be harder and harder every time he takes damage here, and there's going to be an extension on the assist from Vegeta. Rolling attack, 1 bar spent. Kindeyu will be so close, but alive.
Wait a minute. Happy birthday. All right, we got a little bit of damage. That's so much work needs doing, but if he pulls this one off, this is a real master comeback right here.
Okay, so Cell's going to take 1 more mix-up. Gotenks is 1 combo. Vegeta Blue's about 2 or 3 combos, so maybe. But Kindeyu, he cannot take a speck of damage in the process.
Watch out!
But he will, as ZeroQ just flings himself across the screen, grabbing Kindeyu and taking the series 2-1. A perfect way to stop our top 32.
It's always quite fitting, actually, when it's Vegeta Blue that did that as well, of all the characters. Because that's really the character that ZeroQ is kind of like known
so
for.
Aggressive.
Savage.
It is indeed. The ZeroQ, of course, is going to be happy with that one. Moving forward through winner's side of top 32. Doing well for Europe, keeping the dream alive, as we do still have a lot of Europeans still in this bracket. But I do believe our next game is going to be another one that is, for a lot of the European players, pretty much a bit of a dream game. We have RMZ from the UK versus none other than Echo Fox's own SonicFox, which is something we have never seen before. We have never had the opportunity to watch these guys play until today.
And I think that's for good reason. You know, Fox, he's been in Europe a little bit over the past couple of years for various games, but this is the first time in a while I believe Fox has been on UK soil. And here for Dragon Ball, we know it's quite a fitting situation to be in, because Fox really is within that like top 3 Dragon Ball player limit.
He is one of the best players on the planet for Dragon Ball Fighters. I think the results speak for themselves, the consistency speaks for itself. But on the flip side, RMZ is definitely one of the wonders of the UK right now in terms of Dragon Ball. I think he's really dedicated, he's successful, and of course he plays Hit. So he plays the character that SonicFox used to play. So it's almost Hit's revenge. It's like
it feels
RMZ
poetic.
is now his new best friend.
It's poetic in a way. When SonicFox abandoned him, he's like, man, I need friends. And then RMZ goes, come to me.
I do wonder, however, what team SonicFox is going to be playing. So for those of you watching that might be new to the stream right now and weren't watching Paul play earlier on, I do appreciate that. Was obviously, at this point, about 6-7 hours ago, so it's probably a bit of a long day. SonicFox was in the first pool of the day, and he breezed his way through his pool with Fused Zamasu as the main factor of a team. It was Bardock, Fused Zamasu, and Android 16, of course. Escaped me for a moment there. But
it's because sometimes he's used 16 and sometimes he doesn't. Yeah. It's like, does he use it again? Oh yeah.
Fused Zamasu really is the star of that team. It's the talk of the town, and he is going to be playing it. That is what we want. So this is going to be RMZ of the UK coming up against SonicFox of North America.
He has gone for somewhat of a change though. It's not 16, it's Cell. He's gone for somewhat of a character switch. So we're going to see if this works out. RMZ, you know he's going to have the backing of the crowd. And this is actually one of the things that I think a lot of American players aren't used to, especially with the Dragon Ball tournament. But right now, it really is RMZ who is the hometown hero here. But unfortunately, Fox immediately lands the first hit.
Again, it is with Bardock, so this could turn into a disastrous situation for RMZ. He does not find a way out quickly, but he will get crossed up by that jumping H.
And this is a bad start for RMZ, unfortunately. That combo drop does mean that Fox kind of gets somewhat of room to play with. And there's the pressure, laying it on thick with that cell assist. Laying it on even thicker with the Zamasu assist.
That's what happens, right? RMZ was sitting still a bit too long, and SonicFox smells blood. He's going in, and that is already a dead character. That's adult Gohan as well.
Now, it's going to be Hit versus Bardock. I definitely favor Bardock on the ground, even though Hit is a grounded character.
Again, repeats the situation. Level 3, wasting no time, and still has plenty of meter reserves where that came from.
That's the thing. With the second you're aggressive and your rushdown doesn't cost you anything and you can kill without it, the second the other characters come in, you've got pretty much a full tank to work with. No, yeah, we're just going to wait out the sparking. Let RMZ use it. Why not? We reflect and wow. The speed of that straight punch is insane. Here comes the mix-ups. Fox keeping RMZ blocking that sparking, only serving a purpose to keep Hit alive.
SonicFox's defense has been incredible so far, and there was no way RMZ was expecting that. Just by itself did, and SonicFox finds another opportunity here. Watching further up, it's going to be a sliding knockdown into another level 3. Now he doesn't have sparking anymore. This is going to have to be just a hard read on RMZ's part for sure.
I lost the mix-up. Oh, just a raw Dragon Rush, because there are so many ways Bardock can open you up right there. If you're going to sit there and block to try and take one of them, here's a grab.
Well, things are definitely not going well for RMZ so far. He does have Cell in 6 bars, but a lack of sparking means that comeback potential is going to be a lot less likely, and there is the reflect. SonicFox just goes point blank and is making him pay for it dearly.
Load to bar, just level 3, let's save it. Let's really just save every ounce of the bar, so now if we land a hit after this hard knockdown, we can kill with it, because we have sparking.
Especially this team. Oh, and that could be an opportunity.
Okay.
I don't even need sparking at this rate, to be completely honest. He has 2 assists, he has 5 bars.
He can kill without it. Knockdown, give us that right javelin, and the level 3 outright, and that's dead. Absolutely, that's dead, and that was one of our quickest games of the day.
And I'll be honest, I'm very surprised. I did not expect that first game to be as one-sided as it was. I think RMZ definitely seems to be off to a bit of a slow start here in this top 32.
Unfortunately, if there's one player you can't have a slow start against, it's going to be SonicFox, because SonicFox plays at a million miles an hour straight off the starting line.
And we're seeing that again. If we find ourselves in a situation, RMZ's back to the wall once more. Oh, another double overhead coming through. SonicFox is just mixing it up for days.
Right, we've seen this one before. We'll see what the setup's going to be. Level 3, why not? We want that hard knockdown. RMZ now. If he gets hit one more time on this Gohan, he's out of there again. Gohan has been unable to do a single thing this entire set. Wake up sparking.
Wake up sparking. RMZ really favors keeping this character alive. And he will do so. But of course, SonicFox is playing runaway. He is 100% content until he reacts to something with Super Dash. And here is Zamasu.
Pressure. Here's the pressure game. I question how much experience against Zamasu RMZ has had. That's going to be something. Okay, we finally have a full combo for RMZ. There needs to be plenty more where that came from. He has a hope.
Oh, jumps through, but SonicFox, look at that movement. Completely out of the corner. Okay, there we go. Senko, but he drops the combo for RMZ. I mean, he still has a chance to bring back into this. I kind of feel like it's mainly SonicFox is just playing a lot faster there with Zamasu, but he has more Bardock back in, and Bardock was the character giving RMZ the most of a headache.
We're going to get a vanish, and he's dead. Absolutely. This is difficult for RMZ. He really has been unable to get anything substantial. He's had no situations to land a full combo, and when he has, it's minimal damage, and he's certainly getting no setup off it.
No, it doesn't seem that way. SonicFox really staggering these strings. RMZ is blocking everything he can, but inevitably gets opened up. SonicFox is just completely in the driver's seat.
You want Cell. To be fair, I think if there's one character you want to leave by themselves, it's probably going to be Hit, right?
But no, but that's a really smart tag-in from SonicFox completely though, going into that snapback. Just Cell, he's a tool character. Bardock gets some real crazy instant jump, instant overhead shenanigans on tool characters in the corner, and Cell is one of them. That immediate recognition.
Wow. With the rolling attack, so you can actually see SonicFox maybe trying to whip punish that one. Goes over the instant jump, but again gets clipped, but nothing substantial, and that really has been the story of RMZ's life. And now, here comes a full combo. He needs this.
This is a lot of damage from Cell though. This is the best opportunity that RMZ's going to get for damage. Level 1 to level 3. Okay, here's an opportunity now. thing is, if RMZ can actually take out Bardock here, this is going to be even. Even though he hasn't got the smarting, the life will say difference. Level 1.
Uh-oh. Watch out! Oh, jumping over it, expecting it, and Zamasu just has that base covered.
Oh,
here comes the orbs.
The reflect, but is it going to do anything? There's a corner combo. Super Dash doesn't connect. Oh, that was an opportunity for RMZ, but wasn't able to take it.
Wonderful block on the low. There's one person going to block a hit low. It's probably going to be SonicFox. And here's the flight. Oh, get back down here, mate.
But didn't get any damage off it, unfortunately.
Here's the pressure. Going in for the orbs and then going for a grab is really smart because you almost expect the second he's got the orbs, he's going to use them, right? Otherwise, why would he have summoned them? And then bam, a grab comes through and RMZ is in a very terrible situation.
Yeah, it's going to be tough from this point on. There's no two ways about it. SonicFox really just has been a complete dominant force in this game so far. However, RMZ, he does have quite a lot of health left on this cell. At least he did. And here's what he uses for SonicFox to get some that serious damage done.
By the time we inevitably see a level 3, which we still have a little bit left to go. Oh, do we even need it? Is he dead? I think he's dead. Oh my word. Who even said anything about a level 3? Fox moving on in hyper-dominant fashion right there.
Okay, well, that is going to be honest, a lot more dominant than I was expecting. I definitely expected it to be a little bit closer, considering I know RMZ was very confident going into that match as well. You know, he's the kind of player that, like, he would never shy away from top competition. He's definitely the kind of player that would see, like, the best players at the tournament he's at and be like, I want them in my path. I want to play against those people. Because he's never really been one to kind of duck away from those opportunities. Because, you know, he's very FGC, you know, through and through, especially in the UK. That being said, getting sent to the losers bracket, so of course we'll be seeing more of him when we make our way down there later on. But of course, SonicFox moving on in the winner's side, looking really strong himself. And we're only 2 matches into our top 32, and we've already seen some really cool stuff.
It's what we expected to see. We're going to be waiting right now to find out what match is up next. I think it's going to be entirely dictated by who just, you know, sits down, right? You know, we'll find out momentarily. But for those that have just joined us, this is our Birmingham stop. VsFighting 2018 for the Dragon Ball Fighters World Tour. This is our 2nd Dragon Ball, and we're going to see who's going to take it. You know, well, actually, I think there's so many players here that went to. There are so many players here that went to CEOs. Obviously, they're going to be disappointed in their results, and this is pretty much their perfect time to redeem themselves, in effect.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But you know, we can only really wait and see what happens, as I do believe our next player is coming to sit down. Well, Foxy Grampa, I think it is, but I believe it should be Dogura and. Of course.
I'm not sure who else is sitting down, I'll be honest. We'll just wait and see who sits. But
well, it's hard to see the other side.
There's a big, for you guys at home, there's a big pillar right there, and it's really hard to see. You kind of have to, like,
Trust us, there are visual obstacles.
You just have to take our word for it, right? You just have to take our word for it. It's been a long day. But I think so far, I've been very happy with what we've seen so far. The question is always going to be, can the UK bring their A game? Yeah, are they on that level? That's the question.
I think the 3 UK players, and I'm talking like strictly UK, that I think we'll be looking at the most this time is obviously RMZ was one of them, who we saw just unfortunately has moved down.
But I wonder if that's foreshadowing. The RMZ has been considered a very strong UK player, but it looked very easy for SonicFox.
Well, now we do have Foxy Grampa, who I was saying, you know, is one of the, I say out of the top 3 players from the UK that we're expecting to see do well is going to be Aixy, Foxy Grampa, and RMZ. RMZ is in losers bracket, but is by no means out of the tournament. I expect we'll see him getting a lot further. Foxy Grampa is another one who we're now going to be seeing against Souji, who was a very tidy player we saw on the winner's side earlier on that has a real strong Goku, like Super Saiyan Goku, but it's like Super Saiyan Goku on the back of a really strong team. So it's like when it's obviously time to go to Goku, you have that beam, you have those amazing normals, you have the damage output, you have the utility. But he's been playing Goku for a long time, and it's like super optimized Goku. Now, Foxy Grampa used to play Goku himself, but obviously not anymore, as he has made quite a dramatic change in team over the last month or so, but he has got a lot of experience in.
A lot of people were surprised when Foxy swapped teams. He was obviously known for that really, really strong Frieza. You know, Frieza was kind of like his boy for quite a while, and then he just decided to go for a complete swap, you know, a complete mishmash, and go, let's try and completely reapproach how we play the game. And that's obviously what his new team is entirely built around. Big fan of TN. He really likes TN. He feels like TN is that glove on the extended arm that lets Foxy play the way he wants to play.
Of course, another adult Gohan player. Foxy Grampa did start off with adult Gohan early on in the game's life, so him going back to him now is not the most surprising thing in the world. Vegeta and TN are 2 relatively new pickups, but I say new, it's already been like over a month. And if you play as much as Foxy does, that's a lot of time. Whereas Souji, we saw before, had a dangerous team. Kid, Buu, Cell, and Super Saiyan Goku.
Now Souji, he's going to be playing super careful until he lands that final hit. Now Foxy doesn't quite get the launch, expects him for a grab, but immediately Souji is just going in, and no tech from Foxy to kickstart this set.
Of course, that early Dragon Rush is so impactful.
There's the wake up DP. I'm not even sure anyone was sure what character was in play there. There was so much models on screen. But we're back.
Souji has lost quite a chunk of life, and then so has little Gohan. Super Dash going clean through.
And now Cell versus Vegeta, super common matchup, but just getting hit raw by the overhead.
And there's those loops. So much damage. Ooh! Cell damage, man. That's what it does. Is that going to be a dead Vegeta? I wonder.
I mean, surely we're going to get an extension. Yeah, we're going to get an extension on that. It's like we see the early Kid Buu level 1 into a couple of instant level 1s on top of that. You know it's not finished. But here comes TN. Is it going to be enough for TN? That's the thing. So much work needs doing. Yeah, we just get a splat. Here comes the pressure.
Spending his bar on the level up. Really wants the utility.
Oh, I love the perfect timing. That's one thing players are starting to get familiar with now is when they can go for the guard cancel off the adult Gohan pressure. They're really starting to find those magic moments.
Oh no, Foxy misses the knockdown though. Gets another opportunity. Gets knocked down this time. Has the TN. He has the Dodon Ray if he needs it, but the delayed wake up into button. Souji pulling out no stops.
Okay, we go for an extension. We go for another extension. Hurts so good. This could be death again. Level 1, level 1, level 1.
God, his team does so much damage. Souji with the optimization. Ready for every touch for maximum damage.
Now, that anchor TN can work well because he loves Sparking Blast, but again, it goes back to the fact that a lot of his moves hurt him. So making a comeback can be very difficult. But I'm not even sure he's going to have a chance for a comeback. You've got this hyper-aggressive Kid Buu. You've got the assists that will be momentarily coming back. Sparking left in the tank as well. This is pretty much Souji's game to win, I think, at this point.
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Foxy does still have plenty of life. He's got level 3 Sparking. So they wake up again. Oh, wow!
Wow!
Very interesting exchange there.
Okay, here we go. Level 3, yes indeed. 1 bar left. If we open him up afterwards, that's going to be dead. Okay, what's the mix-up?
Sparking to keep TN alive. So this is a dangerous situation to use Sparking, considering... Oh no, he drops the combo.
Right, here comes the pressure. There's that heavy. Instant cross-up. Okay, Foxy. Signs of life a little bit. Level 1. Should be enough to kill. Very high damaging level 1. Obviously, the payout's going to be taking damage on himself, but it is one of the strongest in the game.
Does still have Sparking going there. Kid Buu. Wow. Another guard cancel. I love Souji's timing on that. Just missed the combo. Oh, wow. Walks straight into the super dash with Foxy. There's the down tech.
There was no way Souji could really convert off that. That's the thing. He'd only just built the level 1, so he couldn't have vanished. But not that it's going to be a problem, because that's going to be a very, very confident game number 1.
So Foxy was playing better, I think, the later the game went on. But the big problem was losing Gohan so early on, I think was the biggest problem he had there. Because adult Gohan is actually a big part of how this team works out. And if you do get, I suppose, steamrolled quite early, and you don't really get a chance to get your game going, just like that.
He's really kind of expecting, I think, a higher level of grounded respect from Souji. But he's spending so much of the game kind of like up backing and kind of essentially not being on the ground. I don't think those assists into Dragon Rush are going to work.
Yeah, definitely aren't so far. There's a huge amount of damage coming through, but Cell go straight for Vegeta. Bringing in Gohan. Gohan is already looking quite low.
What's the mix-up? Okay, we block for now. But the beam assist just to make life a little bit more miserable.
Okay, manages to come off a Dodon Ray this time.
Now we power up. We need to power up. We get Vegeta back into the field so we can let Gohan heal as much as he physically can, really. And obviously we're going to now have a powered up Gohan, which is going to be a better result. Wonderful whiff punish. Just running straight underneath that Kamehameha.
It's quite odd how Souji would opt to go for that without something to cover him, though. It's quite uncharacteristic. There it is. Oh, could have vanished off that. Foxy really hit confirm the individual key blast. Edge coming through, just keeping Souji at bay, trying to waste that time, and already Sparking is now off the cards.
It served its purpose, though, to keep Cell alive. Souji knows he benefits more from 3 characters than a Sparking Blast. And there's the Dragon Rush again, Foxy not scouting out. Normally quite good at taking those, but again, Souji's having a very hard time.
get out though. TN comes flying in, Souji ready to get the 2H. Oh, but the combo, but doesn't get the wall bounce.
DP just to cover the base. The jump out has been such a consistent answer for the Dragon Rush from Foxy. There's not even needed to be a tech because he's never on the ground. Oh, wow, get back down.
TN just slapping down to the ground again, but the guard cancel. Souji's timing on those has been incredible, but the 2H from Foxy Grampa still ready. But he drops the end, Cell is alive!
That is the worst kind of combo to drop. And now he's been forced onto the back foot for another time. This is so unfortunate for Foxy, blocking really well for now. And
wow.
Just a raw 2M, okay.
Well, wasn't the way I thought the character would go, but I'm sure Foxy will take it.
Slap his shoes. No full combo. Doesn't quite get the full carry of the beam assist.
I'll go hard coming back in quite low, but he is powered up, I believe. Now Souji, he has 2 full health characters. This is going to be tough for Foxy with the Gohan. Oh, but there's the individual key blast. So he was caught out by it. By the way, Souji is just completely up backing up from the situations because Foxy's yet to really chase it down.
Wake up! Button press, that's a hard read and a half.
It did work though.
It did.
So you're just reading that Foxy's pressure just is not the cleanest timing.
And now he's going to get level 3, which is not good because Foxy with no bar. Is it going to force a sparking? Does he try and risk it? Can he risk even losing TN? He gets opened up, he's going to go down. I don't think he wants to lose the TN this early.
There's a stacker with the jabs. The trade. I love this pressure from Souji, but no, just walks straight into that crouching medium.
Here we go. We take the knockdown. Again, covering it with the assist, which does a little bit of damage, but he's out of there. We're back into the neutral. Like, a conversion. Right, what's next? Oh, what? That was insane. He's making some galactic reads, and they're always working.
That's why it's probably competition, right? The dot on Ray. Engines connect from both sides. Oh, it does miss, and there's a clean punish from Souji. Engines to punish the mistake now this time. That's probably a dead Vegeta. Oh no, doesn't spend the bar.
I do wonder what that was about. Oh, it looks to me like he tried to, but not the first time Foxy's gone in for a vanish and left himself completely open because it doesn't even come out on block the wrong height completely.
Well, Vegeta's going to be coming in, but that blue health now has disappeared. So he's still looking in a good shape to take this, but he doesn't have the sparking.
And again, just expecting a Dragon Rush. He's going for some really sort of strange Dragon Rushes. They don't really look reactionary. I think it's just hard read. I think he's going to grab here, but doesn't seem like the call to make. It's match point for Souji right now. And uh-oh, that's not a good start. That's going to force a risky situation. There's the sparking.
Plus frames.
Tries to go into their dash, but the vanish, getting him out of there. Foxy expecting it. Oh, my word! Is it enough to kill? Does he spend it on Chaozu? No, he just wants to go for the tri-beam. He wants to keep Chaozu for the pressure. I agree with the decision.
I don't think he wants to fight against Goku without Chaozu. Again, this life, this is TN. He's got the bar, is the biggest thing letting him down, I think. Oh, he missed underneath! Committed to one too many buttons, and there's no way sparking regeneration is going to undo this. As the Goku level 3 comes through, I'd be very surprised. Actually, maybe.
It does take a while to charge back up.
Oh, not meant to be. And Souji is going to be advancing over Foxy 2-0 again. So another UK player falls down to the losers bracket, unfortunately. But of course, it is the strong international presence that is making it happen.
It was one of the worst ways, I think, to go down as well, when as TN, you kind of expect to get that pressure on deck from the Super Dash. But in that one instance, there was just no way the Heavy was going to land. And the second he landed behind, it was a guaranteed whiff punish because TN just could not recover from that airborne normal.
But you know, Souji's seen that once or twice before, right? If he sees that miss, he's going to be able to reaction, punish with his own light attack, and that is going to be that. But of course, you know, again, Foxy can be moving down towards the losers bracket, and I believe is it Aixy taking to the stage?
Yes, this next match should be Aixy versus Dekillsage.
Okay, so another opportunity for Aixy to really show what he can do, because I think we talk all the time about UK players and UK strength in this game, and looking to see what the UK players could do, right? Looking to see how the UK players fare up against what is some of the top level competition around the world, because the UK doesn't get the chance to travel too much, so it's nice to see how the UK is kind of faring off right now. Aixy is the strongest player in the UK. He's won the most tournaments, he has the most consistency. There's no two ways about it. You can't argue with his results. So this is going to be an interesting one, because he's against Dekillsage, and Dekillsage is one of those players that has just, you just can't ever count, you can't ever count him out. He's such a consistent player and such a fundamentally sound player in versus games, especially Dragon Ball fighters. So this is going to be a good match. At least I hope.
I feel like in particular, with Dekillsage in particular, Dragon Ball Fighters fits him exceptionally well. Because much like SonicFox, you know, Sage kind of relishes those team-based games that are really fast, really furious, and there's so much going on. You know, there are certain games that are super busy. It takes a real kind of player at the highest level to be able to follow the action to a specific degree. You know, that you can basically continue to make really good decisions, maintain really sick reactions. I was talking to Sage earlier, and he kind of mentioned that, you know, the learning process of Dragon Ball Fighters is there is no fighting game out there right now that demands reactions like Dragon Ball does. You know, you have to react to basically every single little thing to shut them down. And if you're not reacting, you're going to lose. You have to react to those vanishes. You have to react to those super dashes. You've got to be ready for those like minuscule little plus frames that if you don't know what they are, you're going to eat a full combo and probably die. You know, so I think understanding that that's how you have to approach the game is why Sage is now one of the strongest players in America for sure.
But I'm curious to see how Aixy is going to be facing off against that kind of style. Because Aixy he's very patient, he's very defensive heavy, but also at the same time has just this mental rushdown game, mainly if he's playing his Goku Blue team. But that's the biggest change, right? There is a different Aixy depending on what team he plays against you. I'm curious as to what he's bringing against Dekillsage.
I saw a thumbs up.
Okay,
I think
so
we might even be loading in.
Yeah, so this is going to be Aixy's 18 Vegeta and Super Saiyan Goku team. So no Goku Blue to be seen here. Dekillsage with a classic adult Gohan, Gotenks, and Android 16.
Okay, we'll see if he's going to have what it takes. Aixy, one of the best in the UK versus Dekillsage, really is that invader. You wonder if he can put it off. I mean, these guys are top for a reason.
Backdash getting caught by the super dash. Dekillsage, the rushdown going.
Now there's the immediate block on the low, but that's the first of many amazing blocks I think he's going to need. Gets the jump out, but chased down immediately by the 2H.
I love that decision from Dekillsage as well. Seeing that Aixy managed to find a way out, but he's completely stopped straight away, and this is a disaster for Aixy. Android 18 is such an important part of this team, and has been just instantly dealt with.
I mean, did Aixy even have an opening to pop Sparking to keep her alive? I don't even think Dekillsage gave him the chance. Oh my word, wonderful catch. Now we'll see what he can get from this. All right, there's the assist.
Okay, now Aixy might be one combo away from completely evening this out, to be honest. Yeah, he's going to go for it, the final flash. He knows it. If he can take out Gotenks here and now, it's evened out. Oh, he tries to bait,
I think he was expecting a Sparking or some sort of like defensive maneuver. Speaking of which, the Vanish scouted, and just like that, we're back to even.
And just like that, that is exactly what we have. They are now back to square, even on meter.
Staggering the lights just a little bit. Speaking of which, there's that low M again.
He tried to delay it.
Delayed it so much he was too far away. We've seen that one before, but what isn't going to be too late is Dekillsage's 2M instead. Dunk.
Of course, the 2M being such a heavy opener for combo damage. Sparking. This time, tries to keep Vegeta alive.
Preemptive, reflect a little bit. Like, there's a full combo. But this is 16 we're talking about. One touch can be real curtains for you.
Oh, that super dash. There comes through, converting to the double.
I felt like he almost actually tried to chase down the air tech situation, but just was too low down. Level 3, waste a bunch of time, and now give us a hard knockdown.
He got out last time with Sparking. Now he has to make the read. Will not read correctly. Dekillsage will be getting the dunk. This is a very aggressive game.
It is.
Bucket's been going by in a heartbeat.
We're just trading big blows for big blows, and there really is no other way around it. There's the reflect. Give us the plus frames back a little bit. The one thing is, Dekillsage yet to pop the Sparking, and that's going to be a real headache for Aixy. Even if we get this knockdown, it's not going to be enough to kill. Does Dekillsage value his 16 more than his level 3 Sparking? That's the question. Okay, here we go.
This might be enough. He did get quite a big opener. It'll be close at the very least, if not. But no, it will. Aixy, optimization, he realizes.
Turns out.
The big difference here, though, is Aixy had to use Sparking to save Vegeta before, whereas Dekillsage still has level 3 Sparking for Gohan.
And a lot meter, too. Oh, my word. Okay, that's the start. Here comes the pressure. Standalone, but we did see a power-up earlier on.
Oh, he manages to find it, and it's counter. Aixy gets a big opportunity for some damage here. He doesn't have level 3. This is going to be it for him for now.
And yeah, there's the wake-up Sparking. No choice. Dekillsage cannot take these risks. I love the fact we didn't see a 2H because we know there's a sparking. That would have been an empty vanish. And oh my god, just catching it raw. Instant overhead. This might be enough to kill because those instant overheads into a low. I mean, it's just, he has all the bar in the world to kill him right here.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way he survives this. That's going to be a clean game for Killsage. And even though it come down to one character versus one character, there was always Killsage that was drawing the first blood, and it was always Aixy having to play catch-up. So Killsage looking good for himself so far.
I think that's that testament, though. If you're having to constantly catch up to the guy that had an amazing start, you're 100% on the back foot the entire time. But I love the Killsage options there. Saving his sparking until it made such a pivotal difference.
The thing is, though, Aixy did lose Android 18 basically instantly. And Android 18 is the star of this team by far. So if Android 18 can survive for longer than a couple of seconds, then we might see a completely different result if Jet can get it going.
Okay.
Aixy is obviously known for this character in the UK community.
We're going to see a knockdown. It's not going to be level 1, level 1, level 1, but we might get 2 of them. Is that enough to kill? It is indeed.
It is because he used the Goku assist. That's optimization right there. 3 turn of events, almost completely polar opposite fashion.
Oh, the happy birthday! And he confirms. Is this going to kill? No, too far away!
Now, I love the attempt, right? You see you've got the happy birthday and you go into sparking to keep them both low on health, but he dropped it immediately.
I'm actually really concerned after that. I'm very concerned after that because now there is no sparking left to use.
Oh, here come the ghost also.
Oh, the patience, just waiting. Well, we have got 18 back into the fight. This really is one of Aixy's star characters. Didn't get to see it at all in Game 1, but we've seen it put in droves in Game 2. But the lack of sparking, dropping that touch of death on the happy birthday would have just... That's unfortunate. Here comes the pressure.
Oh, wow! The 2H, Aixy still ready.
Right, we don't spend anything. The absorption.
May hard to get through. Boosty and keep the damage here as much as he can. Oh no, he tries to the Dragon Rush, but not quite the right height. Actually through, Killsage trying to fight his way back.
Maybe expecting a charge right there.
Yeah, I actually love the way the Killsage is being hesitant when he approaches now, because he knows that's an option. It's something he has to worry about.
And Aixy, even though it kind of looked like 16 was out in the open, not going to try and challenge it as long as Gotenks had the assist.
Max range on that cross-up. Killsage finds himself an opening. Actually was defending for so long, but now it's going to be dangerous territory. Here's the Gotenks.
Level 1, level 3. Here it is.
Okay, now we have to remember, Aixy did unfortunately waste his sparking before. So even though there's going to be 2 characters up the piece. No! Goku's still alive. A slight miscalculation.
Wow! Wake up, super dash into the safe tag. Here comes 18 for another time.
Wow.
In the level 3.
Okay, I thought for sure that was going to be a dead Goku. Unfortunately, a slight miscalculation by like a pixel by Killsage, unfortunately, but it has meant that Goku's still alive.
And Aixy really was kind of forced into one of those desperation moves. You know, just he had to go for a big hard play, and he managed to land it. But as the sparking connects, this is only level 2, only 14 seconds, and these combos take a million years.
Oh no, he did drop it, but gets a reset off of it anyway. Unless that was intentional. I think I've seen Aixy do that a couple of times. But generally, find it hard to tell what's an 118 combo and what's a reset most of the time.
But that's going to be a level 3 regardless. We're going to see another knockdown into another situation which could very well kill this 16.
And it did, at the very least, completely use that
Oh,
time! Into a late Dragon Rush. Aixy finds an opportunity again. Killsage, he does do 16. Gotenks, he does have 6 bars. There's 3 characters to deal with. This is going to be tough.
That solo Gotenks come back with lots of pizza, but no, sparking being a little bit hasty on the super dash, and unfortunately falling right into Aixy's hands, and this is going to be a dead character, and this is going to be a 1-1. Aixy versus Killsage, very close indeed, must it?
Well, the UK fighting back, not waiting to all go to losers bracket as soon as top 32 starts, and Aixy carrying that strong right now, but Killsage, we cannot count him out. That first game was absolute curtains for Android 18. Oh, but he manages to find Super Dash. Nothing more than that, though. I like the escape from Killsage. Way back.
Taking the block super dash, enforcing his turn. Here comes the 16, but pressing a bit too many buttons. There's the pressure, the reflect into DP. A million years to see that was going to work.
Oh, tries to combo off it, but didn't quite manage to. And there is the 2H from Aixy. Nice opportunity. Obviously, Gohan took very little damage, but he's been getting back in, I believe.
Yeah, we want the Gohan. That's definitely going to be the prize of the minute. All right, we see a knockdown again. Here comes Aixy. Somewhat of a weird combo right there. Definitely drops it. That's unfortunate. But he's going to take the plus frame to Killsage. Challenges the +1. Interesting, but there's the DP again.
Yeah, worked before and it's going to work another time. There's Aixy, there's all blue health. He's not so far, and there's the 2H. Dekillsage ready, going to snap her straight back in, I expect.
Yep, if Dekillsage is going to win this, he needs to get 18 out of the fight. Defensive sparking to keep her alive. Something he wasn't able to do before. Tries to maybe go for a 2H, but gets clipped anyway.
This is coming through, but there we go. The super dash blocked and goes straight into the waiting hands of Vegeta. Level 3. What's the mix-up going to be?
It's going to force Dekillsage into a situation where does he now pop his sparking to try and survive instead, leaving them both with nothing. They're just content taking the block. Really has to be confident, gets hit by it, but the overhead into grab comes through again. Aixy should be able to take this character out.
Needs to be level 1. This is called the Vegeta just to make sure. Now Aixy, he is now looking good, taking out Dekillsage. But Dekillsage does still have sparking, we cannot forget that.
No, we
cannot. A huge part of this match. Jesus, Medicines, I think Aixy was expecting him to come out of there again.
Back to back.
Delayed, but there's the tech on the Dragon Rush. You've seen that before.
That is a wonderful tech, one of the first times I've seen it. Doesn't believe in the connect. Again, back to back, could have been 2 combos if he just committed, but a little bit too unaware, I think.
Let's try and keep him at bay here. Dekillsage preemptively trying to stop him from coming in. Gear assist. Oh, and then just that point blank super dash. Aixy, he's going to take that. Now he's going to have Dekillsage in the corner now.
But I mean, the thing is, there's one player that can come back. I think Dekillsage is one of the players you can't ever count out. This guy is such a beast.
Oh, and the delayed Dragon Rush, that's going to connect. And that is no doubt going to be a dead Android 18. I don't think there's any reality that he does not spend the bar.
Yeah, it's so important to make sure this character dies. It doesn't mean that we're going to go back into the neutral with Vegeta versus Android 16.
It's a weird situation now. Dekillsage has sparking, but Aixy has more health.
Oh, the raw jump in. Here we go, full combo incoming.
Oh, this is so much damage. We cannot forget Android 16. Look at the big boy damage. Level 3. Now, this is a rough situation for Aixy. If he can get out of this situation, fine. But if not, this is maybe one guess away from losing a character. And the patience from Dekillsage.
Aixy made the call, you know, I'm going to block in front, and if he goes for it, I'm going to go for the tag, drops the combo, but ready for the capitalization. The 2H raw into more damage into the exact same situation again. And Goku is, I mean, he did basically nothing apart from being an assist in this game.
Yes, indeed. And that's going to be a full combo. Dekillsage taking Goku out of the picture, so it's going to be Vegeta by himself now against Dekillsage. A very weakened adult Gohan, but a full health Android 16. This is going to be an interesting one. See if he can bring this back.
It's going to be an impressive comeback if he pulls it off. Just goes for the raw super dash, and I feel like Dekillsage is now completely wise to it. Yeah, we just take the damage. That's what we want. Just cash out some extra. Save the bar for the kill.
It's tough for Aixy. Look at all that damage dealt already by Dekillsage. And he has so much health to work with. Oh, that's such a good opportunity for Dekillsage, and there's the tick grab. He has 2 bars. That's probably it. He has sparking. No, he drops it.
Uh-oh. I mean, you really hope this is not going to be it. Does he go for like a reset attempt there? I'm not even sure what's going on. What is going on? And he gets the cross-up situation. Wonderful answer back into Dekillsage. He had to work for it, but he takes down Aixy.
He did an incredibly back and forth game there, right until the very end. Aixy, I mean, Aixy showing a lot of, I suppose, amazing reactions early on. As soon as that match started to become more and more of a scramble, it was a case of who could play better in that kind of situation. And I think Dekillsage very much had the better clutch factor, I think, the longer that series went on. And it was such a great display of what those teams can do. You know, the first match was Android 18 kind of instantly just disintegrated. And Aixy was basically trading character for character from that point on until inevitably losing.
I think for me, it's a testament as to how important some of those characters can be.
Yeah.
And why we saw Aixy, you know, popping the sparking to keep her alive in future games. That's exactly why. Because without her, the team just doesn't work anywhere near as effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what happens, right? As an Android 18 player, you have to be ready for that kind of thing. You know, when you can build a team around a character, but you have to be able to play properly without that character. Which is why I'm actually quite happy that that first game still ended up as close as it did. Considering Aixy is kind of known for the Android 18, especially when he plays it on that version of the team. Lost Android 18 instantly, but still brought it down to one character versus one character, right? Which I think is really, really cool to see. But of course, Aixy could be sent down to the losers bracket, where I'm sure we'll be seeing him again soon. But we have to continue through our winner's side of the top 32 with Dogura versus Pekos.
Oh, Dogura is another one of those players that seems to just improve every time we see him play.
Yeah.
You know, so he's kind of one of those real star performers for Dragon Ball fighters, especially at this tournament. You know, again, it's one of those things where if he doesn't get top 8, it's going to be a huge upset. because he's just so consistently good, and he continues to improve. That's the big thing about Dogura. So whether that's going to maintain here remains to be seen. I don't see any reason why it couldn't be, but only time will tell. Moments away. You know, we're not too far away from reaching top 8 territory.
Well, I believe he's had quite a recent change actually in terms of characters. I know he's definitely thought about you know, experimenting with a few more around time. Sorry, just really hearing stuff over the PA and I'm finding it quite distracting. But I know that Dogura is one of those players that, again, you can't really count him out. He seems to get better every single event for sure. But I think it's mainly because, again, he's always there. Every top tier event in the world, I've basically seen him somewhere in some degree. You know, it's that consistency. They've obviously got the Cyclops weeklies in Osaka, which I'm sure we always do see him there. So he's always playing, he's always practicing, he's always looking to improve, and I think that really is the essence of what you should do in a newer game. You know, Dragon Ball FighterZ is not an old game, it's been out for about 4 months. And if in that 4 months you can enter tournament after tournament after tournament and constantly look to improve, then you will become an amazing player. Consistency is key, and Dogura is the king of consistency in this game.
Well, speaking of which, we're moments away from finding out who's moving on in this top 32 bracket. You know, it's kind of crazy how the second we hit top 32, the good matches have already begun. Like, instantly.
But that's what you'd expect, right? Pool play was, dare I say, quite predictable in terms of results. But top 32 has just been incredible so far. Obviously, it's from a biased standpoint, it's a shame to see the UK heroes all drop down to losers bracket so early. But you know, that's where the comeback begins, right? No one wins in the movies from winners bracket.
Oh, no. Exactly. This is just the setup.
Do you think Rocky would win from winner's bracket?
Maybe in like the 5th movie.
Well, I don't know.
In like the 7 millionth movie, maybe. But I definitely understand what you're talking about.
Thanks for just like clarifying that.
You're welcome,
me feel much better.
bro. Either way.
The big thing about Dogura, though, obviously now he has that Goku, which is a scary character in hands of someone that is fundamentally sound. And of course, that is Dogura.
And with some mixed heavy characters, Goku's assist is mighty fine. Okay, here we go. Immediate capitalization. Dogura's going to get a knockdown. Now we can see that Kid Buu putting in work. The work we know this character is capable of. Flying back to Pekos. There it is. Catches him. Full combo again in return. Oh no. Drops to the end. Ooh, turn around. Very similar mix-ups actually these guys are really.
Trading blow for blow right now, but Dogura has an opportunity to get something out of this. He does have 3 bars. He's not going to spend them. Oh wow, what was that?
Looked like a reset attempt. Very much to me, forcing the tag out of Pekos, of which he's going to be more than happy to answer back. Now 16, taking a chunk of damage, and we just get Kid Buu back into the fight. That's the character that we're after, and it's going to be dead instantly.
I love that choice though, Dogura's way of just guaranteeing some pressure on that snap in. He goes for the airborne perfect attack to cover the airspace, and you've got a beam assist on the ground just to cover that too. Really clean, and that's going to catch Pekos on the ground moving, I think.
Okay, knockdown again. Catching the air tech into the double jump right there. Okay. Pekos, I think Dogura is going to be so content just sitting there blocking, because we talked about defense at this high level of play, and Dogura, again, one of the best defenders in the business. And he knows against Bardock, you know, this guy trains against Goichi, you know, one of the absolute greatest Bardocks out there.
But again, let's see him being careful. They're playing that neutral so slowly, to be honest, with Dogura. So they're not even Pekos. Can't really afford to be too antsy here.
There's the low.
Yep. Only so long you can block into Dogura before eventually you get to eat some damage.
I mean, if you're Kid Buu with amazing assists, it's very scary. And that's exactly why, you know, there's so many of these situations where it's instant overhead, empty jump low. You have just a matter of frames to determine which one it's going to be.
Pekos left down as Andrew at 16 already, just by himself. He does have sparking. Obviously, it's going to be tough. Dogura really has just been in control this entire time. I don't think there's been a point in the match that Pekos has just had space to move. I think he spent like 90% of this game and just back to this exact corner. Oh, dearie me. And there is the sparking blast. Oh, burst again.
Maybe he's dead. Even before we see 1 bar. I mean, 1 bar and then 5 left in the tank. That was just, I can kill you. The sparking is going to make sure, whatever. That's game over.
It was just clean. It was nothing spent unnecessarily. It was just clean play from start to finish. And that's what you expect to see from Dogura, especially at this point in the tournament. This is how he got out of pool so convincingly. Oh, tries to combo off the assist, but too much. Okay, Pekos has an opportunity now.
Now, an opportunity is one thing. I think it's the ability to keep momentum is another. And right now, Dogura has refused to be locked down. Catches the airborne jump, really expecting Pekos to overextend, and he actually temporarily did, but wasn't completely punished. I think this should be that two-touch kill situation. Dogura on the verge of losing his Kid Buu. If Pekos plays his cards right, and I'm pretty sure he will be. There it is. Level 1, right javelin, yes. And it's going to be one character down.
Just going to bring in Bardock with Kid Buu assist ready to go, and Android 16. And now he's lost Kid Buu himself. Dogura, he himself has lost Kid Buu assist, which is a very scary part of the team that's now not there anymore. See that again, that air perfect attack combined with the Goku assist just to cover as much screen as possible. I really like it. And Dogura
keeping it regular, even because you lose the hard knockdown of the regular grab of 16, that isn't going to stop players from now delaying their wake up just as that added mix-up. You know, it's not guaranteed for 16 anymore, and Dogura makes the hard read. Here it is.
But the good thing about that sound movement, when you get tracked down by the second hit of that light chain, it is technically like, you know, a medium's worth of damage, so it scales accordingly. So it's going to do so much.
Speaking of which, you get the knockdown. He's going to be minus, so he has to accept that it's not his turn anymore. Oh, wow! Just the end of that charge connects, and it's going to be enough for the full combo. How about that? Optimizing damage for 16, of course. Dragon Rush giving us a bit of extra damage. Level 3 for Bardock. Dogura going to have to guess for another time.
So much damage coming through, but still potentially, and there is just the raw tag from Dogura. Pekos just don't think he was ready for that, of all things. Must be a soul loop. Oh, and he finds his moment. Pekos is just looking for it.
Obviously opting to keep Bardock in the fight because we still want him to be that point of the situation. Those invincible supers, it's such a great mechanic for Bardock that you have to respect him sometimes. He could pull the trigger at any moment, and that could even be death because of it. Yes, it is.
Cost him all 3 bars, but absolutely worth it. And he still has sparking. This has been a great turnaround for Pekos. In comparison to the first game, that was pretty much all Dogura. This has been the complete polar opposite.
Opting to double back. Oh. You really don't want to challenge Kid Buu. A solo Goku comeback, I mean, it's possible.
He's got bar, he's got sparking, he's got health. This isn't impossible.
So much respect was forced. Probably expecting some sort of wake-up option from Pekos. Just opting to go in there instead of pressing the advantage. Just sitting there and waiting. Obviously nothing came though, which kind of reset things back to neutral for a bit. That's one thing Dogura and, like, you know, Goichi and the Cyclops guys in general are really good at acknowledging when it is no longer their turn, and they just respect. They are not afraid to respect frames. They're not going to challenge. They're not going to give you an opening for free.
Okay, Dogura, he's managed to take out a character without using sparking, so he still is in a very realistic situation to make this comeback. However, Pekos getting a ton of damage from this. It'll be level 3. Level, yep, just go straight to Bardock. Of course, Bardock has him cornered. This is actually a rough situation for Dogura to be in. He can just do raw wake-up sparking if he wants, but
I think his hand has been forced. You know, you can't even run that risk, I don't think, at this stage. Let's use the sparking, get its benefits. Wow. Force him in a situation. Pekos just gets caught by the Dragon Rush. Okay.
I mean, Bardock's dead. There's no way Bardock survives.
Level 1. Let's optimize. Save the bar. No level 3 required.
Now, Pekos. This Android 16. If Dogura gets the right opening, this could literally be a dead character if he gets like 1 hit. It all depends. And that's going to be a good read. Pekos doesn't get the wall bounce. Oh, what a read from such a long distance.
I don't think it's going to matter, is it? He's going to regen some life, but okay, he can survive. One more.
Oh, wow! Not quite in range. Pekos immediately with the sparking. Now, actually, I love the timing. The second Pekos popped his sparking, Dogura's ran out. He was definitely looking at the clock there.
Now it's Pekos' situation. Doesn't get the wall bounce, so that combo is not going to waste some time. This is still Dogura's game. He can still take this, but he has to wait out all of that sparking first. Respect. Blocked amazingly. There's the guard cancel. Oh, the chase! The chase!
And that did enough damage by itself. What a finish from Pekos.
1-1.
And that was a perfect way to really to just stop a comeback dead in its tracks. Is that kind of hard read. Because Dogura very nearly completely brought down one back. But now, after that kind of thing, momentum is 100% Pekos right now.
Just added a very rude full stop on the end of that sentence. Right, the knockdown. This can be such a momentum-heavy game right here. And if we lose Kid Buu early, it's going to spell disaster for whoever does. All right, Dogura, he's getting comboed. So you can see what the recovery is going to be. Caught by Bardock, which is, it's not going to combo, but it's going to force him grounded again. Forced to block. Wow, no time wasted on the sparking. All right, we have damage. We're going to keep it as is, take the mix-up, and get rid of Kid Buu. Of sparking well spent for level 1.
But that was one of those unconventional sparkings that you don't see too often. Because the thing is, it didn't, in the moment, it really accomplished much, but it was more that having the sparking was just in case to keep us alive, but also give him a couple of seconds to get the sparking benefits, which ended up being able to kill off Kid Buu.
And now it's built loads of meter, and that meter is going to be used to kill Bardock. Speaking of which, here comes the level 3.
But that's such a brave decision to make as well, right? You get one sparking per match. If you use it at a bad time, like, that's it. You might have almost thrown the game away on that alone. But in that kind of decision-making in those split seconds, you're really showing the discipline and just knowledge of the game at this point. When he's able to use sparking like that and have it work perfectly, when like 90% of players would never think about using sparking.
Well, that's going to be match point for Dogura. Just needs to take down one more character. Pekos gets clipped again. Not a good start for this one. We want Kid Buu. I love the choice. Let's go for the character that has the best and scariest rushdown. Pressure again. Clips and a full combo. This might even be it. So we can have not quite level 1. Level 1 is level 3. No, so level 1, level 1, level 1.
That's it, that's over. That is over. Dogura is going to be advancing through Pekos. He did well in game 2, but Dogura really was just able to bring it through in the end. I kind of feel like in game 1, that was very similar to game 3. But game 2, I think, just didn't start off as well as it probably should have for Dogura. Of course, is able to go through, and he's going to be advancing through on the winner's side to not a huge surprise, but we do have another European match coming up that's going to be really exciting to watch, I think.
We're just starting to see all the killers come out. You know, I mean, there's no bigger killer than Goichi, who we just saw step up to the plate, and I think this is the stage of the tournament we've all been waiting for. Yeah,
I mean, top 32 is usually where things get a little bit juicy. You tend to see the matches that everyone wants to see kind of that point onwards. I think the pools were seeded really well here, personally, in my opinion. So the pools were kind of... There were room for upsets if certain players were able to step up in certain ways, but generally speaking, the better players, I think, did make it out of the pools. I think that's fair to say. Top 32 onwards is where you really start to see like the cream of the crop matches. And that's what we've been treated to so far. And this is just top 32. Obviously, we've got to go through the top 16, top 8 tomorrow as well. So there's plenty of scope for more top-level Dragon Ball fighters. Before we advance through, just in case any of you may have just tuned in, welcome. This is the Dragon Ball Fighters World Tour live at VsFighting 2018, the first European stop in this World Tour, where the 2-star Dragon Ball is what being played for this weekend. And that is what people are playing for and what we will see go to someone tomorrow.
I've just been informed that this is the final top 32 game, and this is a run back, is it not?
It is. This was a run back of the grand finals from Sonic Boom a couple of weeks ago, where Shanks and Goichi were able to play, and Shanks actually did quite well. I believe their winners set, off the top of my head, I was talking to Mascus about this earlier on, it was 3-2 winners, and grand finals was obviously towards Goichi, and in grand finals was 3-1. So Shanks was able to get some games on the board, ultimately didn't win the set, but 3-2, apparently it was super close. So the question is, will it be here the same thing? Because Shanks is obviously an incredibly talented Android 18 player, and he has the right team behind him. Android 18 with a DP assist, with a beam assist. There's a lot of scope for a dangerous combination here from Shanks.
But that does mean there's also time for Goichi to essentially analyze what happened when he forced Shanks previously. I feel like if there's one player that you almost don't want to have fought before, it's probably going to be Goichi, because he's going to remember you, and all those little things that you might have hit him with when you fought for the first time, it's never going to hit him again.
Well, it has been 2 weeks also. We must not forget, 2 weeks is a long time for competitive players to really make adjustments.
Well, are those adjustments going to be enough for Shanks to actually get that run back and maybe come off on top this time? Goichi really is arguably the absolute greatest player in the world right now for Dragon Ball, and taking him out now in top 32 would be one hell of a result. Now there's staggers early on. Immediate reactions. No time wasted.
Well, I always wonder if the staggers were to bait attack, because Goichi was like beyond ready for that.
There's the heavy. Get a little bit of a cross-up situation. Doesn't really matter what side of the screen we're on, because we're just going to get pressure anyway. Shanks' team very, very even on life together.
Actually, it looks like Shanks has almost like scrambled himself from one side of the screen to the other. Goichi was just following him the whole time. There's the first bar spend. It's going to be a repositioning now. He does have Android 18 assist.
Now the pressure comes out. Using the absorption just in case. Goichi getting caught by a Dragon Rush. I feel like as time is going on, Goichi is getting hit by more Dragon Rushes rather than the other way around.
Oh, and
again! I mean, ask and you shall receive.
But that was a Dragon Rush on a read of Goichi going for the down tech. That was like next level stuff.
So Shanks scores first blood and gets the first character of the series. Could this be foreshadowing?
And it's Cell. Cell going down is a huge deal.
Here comes that adult Gohan. Shanks gets the cross up. Another pressure. Laying on another Are you serious?
I mean, it's rare enough to see Goichi get opened up by a Dragon Rush, let alone get opened up by 3 immediately.
Well, that's sending a message pretty quickly. There's the knockdown. Beam assist to cover his bases. Lets Vegeta go back in. He's going to be content taking this, though. Shanks has shown us immediately he has Gadusha. That was a interesting exchange.
Indeed, but he's going to be happy with that. He's got 6 bars. Final flash comes through. What's the mix-up going to be? Goichi is one of the most seasoned Vegeta players on the planet. He's going to have some tricks. Not going to need them.
Yeah, using that Android assist. It kind of really causes Goichi to second-guess that offense, but just challenging. And the drop. That is going to be a costly drop. I can feel it. I can feel it because the drop has cost him his adult Gohan.
Of course, Goichi's Vegeta being very healthy now. Significantly more healthy than he should be at the moment. And that's why you can't afford to make those mistakes. Execution errors. But he does still have Android 18, and he does still have a beam assist. Ooh.
A little bit too far away. Even though the jumping connected, no normals would have had the range, I don't think, but the low anyway.
Okay, it looks like Shanks did have a huge advantage in this game, but it was quickly and surely slipping away from him. There's going to be a level 3. He's going to be cornered as well.
All right, hard knockdown. Can Shanks guess correctly? Wake up sparking! Oh my god, that is... I mean, that's obviously what the jump back is for.
Have you ever sparking and immediately just been punched in the face really hard?
But the sparking not working and costing Shanks that character means it was also level 2. So this is not going to be 21 seconds, it's going to be 14 seconds.
And of course, Goichi, he is going to be 1000% content just sitting and blocking until it's over.
Yeah, because at the time run out. Yeah, there it is.
The
2H,
swing.
the hammer fist. Okay, another level 3. Shanks gets knocked down again. Loads of bar, but will it be his choice to use it or not?
Oh no! That's probably me. And the sparking, 100%. This game is over. Shanks is going to be losing game 1 for sure. I don't think Goichi's going to make a mistake. And there we go. Final flash. 1-0.
So what was definitely a rough start for Goichi, getting hit by 3 Dragon Rushes in a row and losing his first character very quickly. Shanks had some costly drops, and those drops, it kind of just went from bad to worse. The snowball effect happened because of those.
They were the biggest deciding factors, though. Combo drops. You really can't afford. If you're against a player like Goichi, you find yourself in a situation where you are in the lead. You can't afford to have those executions.
Tries to pick up, but Goichi's staying there blocking. Blocks on the other side. That would have been a block anyway, I think. There's the Destructo Disc. We can burn into Vanish. Nice little catch right there. Oh, wow!
Standing low on the other side.
Dirty stuff. Dirty stuff indeed. We have 2 bars. I'm wondering if that's enough. 1 spent. Here comes the second. Just to power him up. And there we go. We get a character almost unscathed from Shanks, and we power up our adult Gohan.
Now, we were in the situation last time, though. We couldn't slip away from Shanks. He taking some damage from the blue line.
Dragon Rush is going to get tech now. Goichi waking up.
Now, I actually think Shanks went in for the air legs as an attempt to try and bait the rush punch, but just wasn't quite able to get anything from it. In the end, he's getting hit again, and I feel like this might be a shades of last game. Shanks did have a massive advantage, but quickly the momentum is just completely stolen away from Goichi. And here we are. He has Shanks in the corner with a Bardock level 3. This is dangerous.
Can he block correctly? Locks the lows. More left to go. The tags come through. Doesn't get a full combo, but the important thing is we're still alive. And here comes the Android 18. Opens him up again.
Okay, level 3, yeah, Shanks, he's not messing around. Do as much damage as he can, get Goichi in potentially 1 hit from death territory. The problem is Shanks doesn't have a lot of meter, so getting optimized damage might be tough here.
There we have all of the assists.
Your assist has been completely wasted.
Really good block. Goichi's blocks, I mean, they have to be the best. They have to be the best blocks in this community right here.
Oh, he has them both.
Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh, no. Oh, he's going to be dead. That's going to be out of...
That's Gohan. Gohan's gone. Oh,
See you later. See you later. And
Wow.
the sparking was... I mean, his hand was forced right there.
Poor Gohan. Oh, I'm worried from Goichi.
That was an amazing read. Knowing that he's so minus, maybe a Dragon Rush was the option, and if so, eat this DP, mate. Oh no, the low again. It's gone from bad to worse for poor old Shanks.
But he's going to survive this. Yes, the sparking regeneration.
I mean, I don't even think it matters whether he does or not. He's going to get a knockdown, and if he doesn't guess right, he's out of there regardless.
Wait, I think it does matter though, because after 18, he needs this character to survive. Oh, and she is not. And we have to remember, that is now 1 versus 2 because that happy birthday. Poor Gohan, he got more than he bargained for. He just came in and was like, don't worry, I've got your assist, and then he was out.
What could possibly go wrong?
Famous last words. Oh, the trade, and Shanks is able to come off better in it. Also, Shanks did use his sparking in the process too. He still has his.
All right, level 1. We see it spent again. Take the damage for what it is. Plenty of resources left. Can he spend it? The whip punish.
Yeah, he was able to just sneak under the Air Kamehameha.
Okay, level 1. Let's take the damage. Oh, the reflect and the confirm. This has to be death. Has to be death. Vegeta with sparking does a huge amount of damage, and he's dead. He is out of there.
That's 3 bars. Level 1 into double level 1 if he needs it, but he probably won't. And that is gonna be it. Goichi moving forward to not a huge surprise on the winner's side, but I must be honest. It's a shame that there were a couple of those crucial drops when they were, because I generally think that Shanks could have made some magic happen if it weren't for a couple of just costly mistakes.
And I think that's going to be what it comes down to all the time in Dragon Ball. If your execution is not on point, if you don't play perfect, and you're against the likes of Goichi, or SonicFox, or Dekillsage, or Dogura, if you're not playing perfect, they will beat you, guaranteed. You have to play the best you've ever played. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, indeed. But that was a nice display of winner's side top 32. I do believe there are games continuing off stream as well, and we'll be updating.
Just all around.
They'll be updating the brackets, I'm sure, and seeing who is still in and who's still doing well for themselves. But it does look like we're going to be continuing with some winner's side action further on in this bracket, as we do sift through now to the best of the best.
Yes, we have hit the end of top 32. That match you just saw was our final top 32 match. We're currently preparing our next matches. I mean, ZeroQ versus SonicFox. That's going to be an insane matchup in itself, which is up next. That being said, that's everything from the two of us. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to go for about a 10-minute break and set up our, well, beyond our top 32. The real matches, the facts where we're getting near top 8, and it's going to be all to play for. So see you all in a few moments' time. We've been Ketchup and Mustard. We'll be right back with some more Dragon Ball fighters.